Hey guys, what's up? Thank y'all for joining. Let's get into the show. Hello, hello. I see my mods are here. Thank y'all for being here. I see Kim Naughton. Thanks for being here, dear. Of course, everything said in the video is alleged and in my opinion and is used for fair use and entertainment. Let's jump on into the show. Happy Sunday to everyone. First topic, you guys. Let's jump on into it. Let's jump on in. All right. Jamal Bryant seems to be into it with this fake Dr. Cheyenne Bryant, you guys. So it said that Pastor Jamal Bryant calls out Dr. Cheyenne Bryant again after she sent him a cease and desist. Ooh, child. Sent him a cease and desist letter for questioning her credentials and alleged university connections. I mean, I think everybody's questioned that. I think anytime somebody puts the heat on her or put the heat on her to find out like where you went to school, what's your credentials, she gets very defensive, and you shouldn't. It's just simple. If you went to this school, show your, diploma, show your credentials. Why you got to go lawyer up and be sending out cease and desist? Like, that's stupid as hell, right? Child. Let's get into it because he responds. Shout out to the neighborhood talk.
I shouldn't even have to do this. It's ridiculous. Over a month ago, I came to you and apologized for platforming Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. I felt I had a responsibility considering my sister is the former president of the American Psychological Association, one of the youngest to ever hold that position. Not soon after that, I received an email, a cease and desist, not to mention her name or to speak to the controversy. I scanned down to the bottom, and it was not from a lawyer, not from an attorney, not anybody who was barred. It was from Cheyenne Bryant herself. I said, I'm going to walk away. I do not want to be a part of black on black crime. So I let it go, never addressed it, never mentioned it again until I received this email on yesterday from Dr. Jack. I shouldn't even have to do this. Jaquel Pitts, who is serving as the president of Indiana Southwest Christian University, who said to me in writing that Dr. Cheyenne Bryant has just received her PhD in theocentric psychology. I did a quick Google search. Indiana, the whole state, does not recognize Indiana Southwestern Christian University, is not registered.
Wow.
The president claimed that the degree is in theocentric psychology. Again, I didn't even use Claude or ChatGPT. Google, the cheapest one, says that theocentric psychology shifts a person from ego to universal thought. I don't even know what that means. The president goes on to say that they cannot provide Jaquel Pitts, that they cannot provide any transcripts. I send a one-line email. Who are y'all accredited by? And he sent me back this. Accreditation Religioso. I don't know what this means. But ladies and gentlemen, the last line that I've highlighted for you is no transcript can be provided. I'm not going back and forth with y'all. The president of Indiana Southwest Christian University doesn't even have a college email. Jaquel Pitts is on Gmail. So if you want the transcript, email him directly, and maybe he'll be able to give you answers I'm not able to provide. Y'all, let's shut the case on Dr. Cheyenne Bryant. The only robes I want to see people in are the 500 kids who are trying to go to Howard, an accredited school, that they cannot provide any transcripts. I send a one-line email.
As much as I don't like him, I got to give him his props on this because I think everybody has proven that this girl she is not accredited. She does not have an accredited degree nowhere. Like, why is it so hard for you to show your accreditation, girl? Like, why? Like, I can go downstairs right now and show where I went to school. Like, why is that so hard? Right? Any school that you went to should be able to give you your paperwork to show that you went there and what you graduated for and what degree you earned while you were there. Like, And anybody that's responding on behalf of the school should be on school letterhead, right? With a school address, email address, as he said. I agree, shit. And I don't even cap for him, but I got to give him his props on that, right? Once again, you exposed Cheyenne as this fake ass doctor. Now, I told you guys that she also purchased her robe. Somebody found out that she purchased her robe where she tried to say that she graduated from this school. She purchased her robe, you guys, on Amazon. I think I showed y'all that too. Hold on, because I still got it in my phone. I don't get rid of nothing. This girl got her robe, you guys, from this university she said she went to from Amazon. I said, bitch, are you serious right now? You don't need to get you should not be getting that from Amazon. Girl, let me send this shit over. I forgot. Just while we on it, just to show y'all that this girl is full of shit, okay? Cap, gown, and everything from damn Amazon. You should have got that from your school. They should have sent you that. Not out here on Amazon, girl. That's some janky mess right there. Let's stop sharing so I can show y'all this right quick. Because, child, she is on some other stuff. I said, baby, what? Like a what? Why is you out here on Amazon trying to get your cap and gown? Like, girl, that is so uncouth. Hold on. Okay, yeah. Girl, this shit here. I said, baby, what? Let's pull this over here. But I said, I know damn well this girl ain't out here playing in our damn face like this. And then trying to send out a cease and desist like somebody bothering her. I mean, you don't want to put it out there that you had all these degrees and people say, oh, where you go to school at, right? That's just a question that somebody asks. If you calling out all these degrees, you would people with the next question, oh, really? Oh, so what school did you go to? Did you pledge? People always ask that. So I don't see what's wrong with that. As you guys can see here. Look at, all right. Can y'all see that? So this is, y'all see her cap and gown? Y'all see the cap and gown? Y'all, why this shit came from Amazon? I swear to God. Do y'all see it right here? This is some janky mess. At least they got what? Almost 5 stars for the cap and gown. But baby, look, this is her cap and gown. Straight from Amazon. Girl, you ain't graduated nowhere. Take that shit down off the wall. Ain't nobody checking for her. Y'all see that? Let's move on. I ain't staying on her ass. I hope you don't send me no cease and desist. I'm gonna send that shit right back to you like I did somebody else to try to send me one on some bullshit. All right, so let's go ahead and get into the next one because I sent them back or I ripped them hoes up like confetti. And I'm gonna go live and throw them shits up in the air like that. You're gonna think it's a birthday party in this bitch. Don't send me no damn cease and desist. I'm doing my job in here. All right, let's get into Chrisean Rock. Okay. I don't take kindly to no threats. But let's get into her. All about the tea. Shout out to you. Chrisean Rock threatens concerned fans trying to get Junior some help. We've been trying to get Junior help since he got here. All right. Said it claims that Junior is receiving therapy, even though we don't see it. Now, she'll show him doing everything else except in therapy, which I find to be so weird. She said, I'm not exploiting my son, but you do it any other time. Why we can't see him in therapy? And we can see him jumping around on the floor like a bullfrog. I don't know. But let's continue. All of her CPS cases, she says all her CPS cases were closed in her favor. I need to see some paperwork on that, but let's continue on.
Now on, I will be staying away from stuff like that. And then everybody that keep talking about Save Junior and all this other stuff, or like, when is he going to get help? What are y'all talking about? He's getting help. What are you talking about? He's in therapy. I just don't document it on live or exploit my baby like that. Like, y'all getting on my nerves.
I think she lies very well. I think if Junior was in therapy and he was showing progress, just because people have been saying all this time he can't walk, he can't talk, he can't do this, So if he's making any type of progress, I would think that she would be, excited to show the progress that he's making while in therapy, correct? If I was a mom and something was wrong with my child and out of the blue, he just started walking, I'm a video and I'm like, oh my God, especially if I share everything else on social media. I'm like, oh my God, he's walking. So I would want everybody who were naysayers and everybody else that was watching, all this time to see the progress that he's made. So why wouldn't you document that and show it to people that since you be putting everything else on social media, right? I mean, let's continue.
Because with that point, and it's like, Not like that, but y'all know how many times CPS had to come in and close the case because I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do? That's the other thing, bro. Like, what the heck? I'm not hard to find.
Yeah,
for real. But y'all keep like planting those weird seeds, sending people to me. All I'm gonna do is just write y'all information down and press charges because when y'all falsely report me, yeah, it's done. Everybody, from now on,
that's what she said. From now on, for those of you that report her for false charges, she's gonna write your name down and she's gonna press charges against you. So that's for anybody that's putting false charges out on her. Okay, just fair warning. All right, so some great news for those of you that are into the Marvel movies. We have a new movie alert that we want to go ahead and put out there. We're gonna stay on it too long, but shout out to Hot 1079 ATL. So David Johnson announced as the new Black Panther. Okay, yes, we got a new Black Panther, you guys. I think that's supposed to be coming. There it is, December the 15th. In theaters, December the 15th. Okay, that's a few months or so away. Let's go ahead and get into it because they made the official announcement. I'm excited. I'm a Marvel junkie. Anything Marvel put out, I love it. All right, so let's get into it. Shout out to Ryan Coogler.
Warm welcome to our new Black Panther, Mr. David Johnson.
Good. So this is Black Panther 3, you guys. You know. So a lot of people, including myself, was asking now, is this the son that Black Panther left behind in part 2, which is now going to be Black Panther part 3? Is this his son that he left behind? Y'all know Chadwick Boseman was the original Black Panther. He's no longer with us. So they're continuing the Black Panther franchise now into part 3. Of course, on part 2, the way it ended, y'all saw that he did have a son. So now, of course, his son has grown up. I'm thinking that this could be Black Panther's son that he left that will take over the mantle of being Black Panther in part 3. So let's continue.
This young man. I want you guys to give a warm welcome to our new.
Any Marvel junkies in the chat, y'all can put a 1.
I want to say thank you so much. Thank you, Ryan. Thank you, Kevin. Thank you to this amazing family that I have the honor and the privilege and the blessing to join.
Okay, he about to get a big check too. God, Lee Marvel pay they people good. So shout out to him, and you got a main cast role. So he about to get a nice little check out this movie. Shout out to you. All right, shout out to you, David Johnson, the new Black Panther. I will be there, honey. I'll be watching because I love stuff like that. All right, moving on. We have some unfortunate news that we got to report. Thank you, Kim Jones, for the 1. Okay, I love action movies like that. Shout out to It's on Sight. Okay, heartbreaking tragedy where 21 Savage's 14-year-old nephew, they're calling him, allegedly accidentally pows a 12-year-old sister before dying by suicide. What is going on with these kids, y'all? What is going on with these kids? Let's get into it because it looks like the news have picked it up. Let's go.
Good afternoon, and thanks for watching and streaming 11 Alive. I'm Ron Jones.
And I'm Faith Jossie. And we start with this today at 4. We're learning a lot more about a shooting that killed a 14-year-old and sent a 12-year-old to the hospital. The family says that the teen that was killed was like a nephew to Atlanta rapper 21 Savage. So very close there. Stockbridge police saying that this happened on Lakeview Place off of Interstate 75. This was Wednesday afternoon.
Yeah, the victim's family spoke exclusively with 11 Alive Chase House, sharing what happened and how they believe the 14-year-old got access to a gun.
The family of 7 Shirley and his sister Lyric are going through the unimaginable. They say Seven took his own life after accidentally shooting his sister in the neck Wednesday afternoon. He was 14 years old.
Just that fast, the boy had made the decision to kill himself. He probably sat up there and thought, I'm finna go to jail. They gonna ridicule me. Everybody gonna be doing this, and that. And he couldn't take it.
Sharon Smith is Seven's grandmother. She's been raising him since he was 11 months old.
Wow. There wasn't nothing in this world he wouldn't do for me. He would say, Grandma, sit down in this chair right here. And he'll push me wherever. I'll be so glad because I be hurting so bad. He'll push me wherever I want to go.
The one big question still remains. What was he doing with that gun? I mean, talk to me about that.
We don't know. We don't know. Something needs to be done with the person sold that gun because if he would have never bought that gun, this would have never happened.
And the story doesn't stop there. Smith says Seven's cousin is DeMarcus Shirley. He was the 13-year-old killed during a drive-by shooting while staying the night with friends in DeKalb County earlier this month. The family says Lyric has undergone 3 surgeries on her neck and on her vocal cords. As for when she'll be home, the family isn't sure. In Stockbridge, Chase Howell, 11 Alive News.
Yeah, just a trap.
Gotta watch your kids. How do you not know where he got a pow from and what he was doing with one? That's just crazy. And then a 12-year-old or however old he was got pow in a drive-by. That's a lot. We gotta watch our kids. Definitely pray over your kids and know what your kids are doing. A 13-year-old should not have a pow at any point in time. They should not be playing with them. If you guys have them in the home, they should be locked up in a case to where you can only get into that case. And it should be put up high to where your children cannot get to them. And you should make it very clear that your kids are not to go into your room. That's how I do. Don't come in my room. What you doing in here? Right? You know, you don't be in here looking around. No, get out of here. And that's how it should be. Train your kids up and definitely, you know, when they become of age, if you want to take them to the range, because I think it's 16, you can take them to the range and they can pow and they will allow it. But until then, no, if you want to teach them how, you know, pow safety, which is great. If you have a home intruder, your child could probably ultimately save your life. But 13-year-olds, no, they should not be handling weapons. Now, I was young. I was 12 when I first, about 10, 12 years old when I first pow one, and it was a double barrel. But I was with an adult out in the country, and I'm okay, obviously, but I probably shouldn't have been doing it either, but, you know, that was so long ago. But bottom line is now today, we have to watch our kids. Our 13-year-olds should not be handling weapons, especially without adult supervision, all right? I did have adult supervision. But let's continue on. That's a lot. That's a lot. Let's get into Boosie news. Boosie. I'm so sick of Boosie in the damn news. Is one thing after the damn next. They trying to take Boosie down, child. First, he was trying to get this money back that he paid for this pardon I saw, and people won't give him his money back where he paid all this money. And child, I was just like, who is out here paying for pardon? I don't know. But now it said that Boosie Badass is being sued by a security guard for assault. Y'all remember that whole situation that happened at a club? All right, let's go ahead and get into it. According to TMZ TV, Boosie Badass is being sued by the security guard who says that the rapper smashed a glass hookah over his head. The latest development connected to the alleged assault, which landed Boosie in jail. Y'all know he is currently on probation. He can't get in no trouble. Now, Edward Egelhart II is suing the Louisiana-born rapper over an alleged incident, which he says occurred on May 24th of this year at the Dome nightclub in Houston, Texas. All right, so we got to wait to see how that turns out. Hopefully this does not violate Boosie, because I think they were trying to do that ultimately was to get him violated because of this incident, because he wasn't supposed to be in any trouble while being on probation. So we'll see what happens after this, and as we get updates, so will you. Let's get into this David case. We got to keep this train rolling, y'all. I got to finish packing. I'm supposed to be out of here tomorrow going on vacation. So I got to get all my stuff packed up. And I don't know why I always wait till the last minute, but yeah. All right. ATM news. Shout out to you. Text messages shown in court indicate that Celest Rivas Hernandez had multiple abortions. We got to say it that way. All right. For YouTube's sake. Multiple abortions. I'm going to put my trigger up for this because she is a minor, or was, because she's no longer here. a minor. Let's go ahead and read these because these text messages were read out in court, and we're going to take a look at them. So they're saying that this is disturbing as an evidentiary hearing, or as the evidentiary hearings in the singer David's case continue. Prosecutors show multiple text exchanges between him and Celest Rivas Hernandez dating back in 2022 of August, when she was only 11 years old, you guys. A grown-ass man with a fucking 11-year-old. Damn pervert. And pedo. Said that all the way through April 23rd of 2025, when she was at his house, when she was last seen at his house. Said that the exchanges indicate that Celest had more than one abortion during the course of their relationship. And in one instance, David talked about getting her an abortion gift. Oh, wow. They do that. Said that Celest also seemed to believe that the two had a future together, but by March of 2025, she began voicing frustrations that their relationship revolved only around sex. So I think he was probably just using her as a sex slave on some freaky, crazy shit or demonic stuff. Because y'all know we showed some of the lyrics to his songs. He's very demonic in the mind. Something's really wrong with this dude. We already told you guys how he unalived her, dismembered her. They found several body parts in different bags and shit, where he purchased chainsaws, which he used on her to dismember her. Crazy. Let's get into these text messages. All right. November 23rd, Celest says, if I'm pregnant, though, I'm not having it, though. So December 20th of 2023, Celest says, do I take the plan B? Now, a kid at 11-year-old should not be thinking about no damn plan B or keeping no damn child. At 11, you should be playing with dolls or something. I don't know. January 8th of 2024, David says, I'm sorry again, baby. I didn't want to ever put you through this. So it sounds like he's apologizing to her for possibly being pregnant, which is what it sounds like. Celeste then responds by saying, no, it's okay. We both aren't able to take care of it. It's okay, though. Neither one of us are capable of watching or taking care of a baby. So she spells it out there. David responds by text saying that, when are you going to get it done? Meaning the abortion. Celeste says in 2 days. June 10th, 2024, Celeste said that what if the first abortion didn't work? David, the following day, said, let's have this be the last abortion until we have kids. Wow. So July 9th, 2024, David then says that I'm thinking about your abortion gift. September 22nd, 2024, Celeste says that, am I going to get pregnant? What? Prosecutors showed photographs showing them holding a package of a plan B in June of 2024. March 2025, Celeste said that the way we are going is not happening. Says that maybe if things were different, all we do is have sex and just hang out. Man, I want more than that for myself. Wow. So it sounds like that's all he really wanted this girl for, was to, jump up and down on her as an 11-year-old, as a fucking child. She was a runaway, obviously, and he took advantage and used that to his advantage to, I want to say, was doing some type of ritual or ritualistic type of sex with her too, because that is a thing where they, like put candles and shit on, like burn candles on you and all types of crazy shit. I don't want to go too graphic with it, but if you guys look it up, that is a real thing, ritualistic sex. And he used her for these weird acts, I feel. And when it didn't work for him, when she decided she wanted out and she wanted to talk to someone about it, he started thinking about he's going to be exposed and everything that he would lose by her speaking out against him, because he knew she was a minor, he was an adult. And because of all the things that were being hidden, like abortions, and the fact that, he was doing all these things to her that he shouldn't have done to her as an adult, he knew that his life was going to be over, his career was going to be over, and that's why he unalived her in the way that he did. And it looks like he may have been very angry by how far he went when he unalived her. But you guys let me know what y'all think. That's sad, nevertheless. Let's move on. That's very sad. So what is his age? He's in his 20s. She's like, was like 11 or so, but he's, yeah, let me Google just to make sure. Yeah, he's way too old for her. Just know that. Let's see. Okay, he's 21, born March 28th of 2005. Yeah. Yep, he's 21, but he was definitely older than her. She was definitely considered a minor when all this stuff was going on. He shouldn't have been sleeping with her. But it sounded like he made her like his little sex slave. That's what it gave. I don't know. All right, so let's get into. I'm gonna skip that one just because I don't need it. We'll come back to that. I don't want my video to be too long, child. All right, let's get into this biatch right here attacking Ben Crump, this Officer Tatum dude. I'm so sick of his ass. Somebody needs to slap the shit out of him and wake him up because, baby, you are just, I don't know. You have gone off the beaten path. You out here interviewing these boys who you know. I feel, and it's my opinion, that they have something directly connected to Nolan not being here. If they didn't do it, they know who did, and they knew what happened to him. It's in the 911 call, them in the background, panicking. We played it. I'm going to play it again. So for those of you that didn't hear it, you will. We're going to chop down some more lies as related to them. But let's get into Officer Tatum. He's upset because Ben Crump will not interview with him. He don't have to interview with you. He knows you're a coon. This is an open investigation. He's not getting ready to sit on your couch and allow you to pick through him and talk crazy to him while he's trying to find justice for Nolan Wells. Just because you don't care and because you don't believe the hype of what everyone knows happened to him. I don't know. I feel like you are on some coonery shit right now. Officer Tatum, I'm gonna go ahead and say it. All right, he's interviewed another one of Nolan's so-called friends. I'm gonna say so-called because ain't no friend gonna sit back and know something happened to their friend and not say something. I don't care who it implicates. If you saw something, you say something. But because he's getting his rocks off by being able to interview these boys because he feels like that's bringing his channel and bringing him some clout. But ultimately, it's making you look more like a coon. And I was about to say something else. Let's just go ahead and play the shit. So pay attention to his to the anger in his voice that Ben Crump is not giving him what he wants, which is an interview, a sit down. Let's go.
Benjamin Crump. For everybody that said Benjamin Crump wants to get to the bottom of this, he really cares about Nolan Wells' family. I'm telling you guys, they do not care. It's just a money grab. How do you know, Mr. Tatum? Well, then why, when we reached out to Benjamin Crump, that they didn't respond to us or they made some lame response after our fourth attempt to talk to him? Here's the email. This is the first time we reached out to Benjamin Crump. You can look at the email there, and you know exactly that we reached out to his team. We gave a generic media outreach where we put the information in there and say, hey, we would love to have an open dialogue. We value the conversation. Here's something that we want to know from his perspective what he has, and we wanted to deliver what we have to him. All right, we did that the first time. Here's the second time.
5 days later.
5 days later, here's the next one. What was that? A day after that?
Yep.
And then here's the fourth one.
So why you keep emailing him if he didn't respond to you on the first or the second one? Why you on the fifth email and he still hasn't responded to you? That means he ain't fucking with you. I wouldn't either. He see what you're doing. You're interviewing these boys who he's actually investigating. So why would he sit on your couch and interview with you and then you try to get him to slip up and say something that will jeopardize this entire case that he is investigating? He's an attorney on this case. So no, I would not expect he would sit on any platform with you and answer any questions from you because that would be uncouth and that would be directly a contradiction to this case. I wouldn't do that shit either. So shout out to Ben Crump.
Yeah, the fourth one is 5:30 in the morning, and it's basically saying, "Hey, we." That's still. You go to the next one. Yeah, this is the first response
Benjamin Crump
I received, which is basically, or no, this is the final response where they basically say,
yeah. So the final response said, "Thank you for reaching out, interest in speaking with Benjamin Crump." Right.
Yep.
So the thing is, we reached out to Benjamin Crump. We reached out to talk to Benjamin Crump. We didn't reach out to talk to the family. We only wanted to talk to Benjamin Crump. Put the thing back up there. And so as you can see on there, it says at this time, the family is taking a break from media engagement as they continue to grieve and spend time together. Why are you talking about the family? I know they're taking a break. Benjamin Crump should be taking a break. He's the attorney.
correct.
We only wanted to talk to him. They acknowledge the fact that you reached out and interested in speaking with
It's a conflict of interest. There's an open case, just like the DA said. They're not giving out any information. They're not doing any interviews right now. They are focusing on the investigation. Did you ask the DA for an interview? No, you went straight to Ben Crump. Why didn't you ask the DA for an interview? I'm pretty sure they have way more information. They're the ones sitting over there with the damn autopsy info. Why didn't you ask them what information they have? Why aren't you harassing the DA? Why aren't you harassing the sheriff? Why aren't you harassing the coroner? Why aren't you harassing the whoever this other guy was that's also after Ben Crump that we just played yesterday? Right? Why aren't you asking these people? Ben is not going to talk to you because he is an attorney on this case. He's trying to find out what happened to Nolan. So God forbid he sit on your platform and you ask him a question that could throw this entire case out, which is probably what you want to happen anyway, right? Given how you are coercing these interviews with these boys who everybody think has something to do with the shit. Let's keep going.
Attorney Benjamin Crump, but says that the family is taking the time apart. It's a lame excuse for them not to engage with us. And people are running their mouth about whether or not they want to know the truth or not. We reached out to them plenty of times.
I received.
Okay. Yeah, he's not going to contact you. I wouldn't either. You've already made it clear that you're not that you're not in his face. He knows it's going to be an attack interview. I wouldn't reach out to your ass either. I damn sure wouldn't. You can send 100 emails, and every one of them be returned to sender to your ass. All right, let's get into this. Shout out to Super Talk Mississippi. I wanted to play this for you guys. All right. So Tendo urges the public to stop speculating in the Nolan Wells case. So here we are, some more coonery, some more bullshit. This is the Senator what's his name? Tendo, which is the commissioner who is also attacking Ben Crump, who he was saying they want charges against them because they're race baiting and that they're making people send out threats. I guess they're saying to the guys who were saying that they initially shut down their social media because they received multiple threats. And so now they're trying to blame Al Sharpton and Ben Crump for these alleged threats. They don't control other people and their emotions and how they feel about this case. Nolan's case has become a worldwide case, right? So because Ben Crump is speaking about what happened in several cases that happened before Nolan passing away, coincidentally undetermined, which was marked on their autopsies when clearly there were things wrong with them that caused their death. So because he's speaking on that and shedding light on that and challenging the coroner in Mississippi and also challenging the sheriff who don't want to say nothing, and now the DA is mute, I feel like, and I keep saying it's a direct conflict of interest with everybody involved because of that judge. Judge Ashley Cole is directly connected to the sheriff, to the DA who did the video I showed you guys yesterday, the young lady, who is also directly connected to the coroner. So none of them should be on this case, to be honest with you. So they feel a way that Ben went over their head and got this second autopsy. So what did they do? And I said it the other day, they held back body parts to make it inconclusive. They need the neck area. I feel like somebody might have put something around his neck. Why remove that? Then coincidentally, we get this video where we can hear him in the background. Oh my God, Nolan, wake the F up, Nolan. Let's play this so y'all can hear this bullshit. I said, child.
Can you tell us, there is a ton of online speculation, whether it's on Facebook pages, on X, on Instagram. There are a lot of people that kind of act like they have information that they don't necessarily have any information, or at least not any that's credible, that's been vetted. What can you tell us at this point?
Well, Richard, let me first send my condolences to the family. I don't know them personally, but I have a lot of friends that have relationships with them and know them, and you know, I can't imagine what they're going through. I've got a senior that just graduated from Gulfport High, is 18. He and his friends remind me a lot of Nolan and his friends, and they go out, they hang out, they do a lot of things together. So my heart is bleeding for the family and the friends of Nolan, who have suffered a tragic loss, and by all accounts was just an outstanding young man with a bright future, and well respected and loved by really everybody that I've talked to that he touched. So very tragic situation. I can tell you, I've grown up on these waters. I've lived here my whole life. I grew up going to Horn Island, going to Ship Island. I've camped on Horn Island. I've swam around those islands. It's very dangerous. I was taught at an early age on the west tips of those islands that you don't swim there because it'll drop from 3 feet, 4 feet.
So quick question. Why is it when they called in the 911 call, it's something that I remember whenever I heard this particular video right here in question, where this man said here on Horn Island that the west tip of that island was a place where they encourage people not to be because of how there was such a drop off. You could be in 3 feet of water and then it would drop down to 20, 30 feet, like without warning. And then the rip tide was like very strong in that area. Why were Wyatt and them on the boat in that area versus whenever they made the call? Because if you pay attention, I'm gonna play it here in a minute where he said we're out west. Why are you guys in that area when it said that that's one of the most dangerous areas? And I feel like that's where they found Nolan as well. So is that where you guys dumped him off? Is that where you guys, I'm gonna say allegedly, is that where y'all dumped him off to make it look like he drowned in this, in this dangerous area that everybody knows you're not supposed to go to when you go to Horn Island? They're saying that they went there several times, a year, and several years they've been there. They're very well versed on how boats work, what areas to go to, what areas not to go to. They're very much informed on the drops, the different drops in this particular lake or whatever river, whatever it is. So my question is, why did you guys give a certain location to the 911 person, but you guys were actually west? You said you were somewhere else, but you were actually out west. I just don't understand that, but let's keep going.
In just a matter of a foot, and the currents will pull you out quick. And then I've been on the water. I'm certified scuba diver for 30 years. Done a lot of swimming, sailing, boating, fishing. Drowning is something that happens regularly out there, and it's a silent killer. People don't see it. It's 30 seconds, 40 seconds, you're underwater, and that's it. So
you hear them keep mentioning drowning. They want this to be drowning so that they can move along and not charge those boys that I feel are involved. Now, if you're a scuba diver and you have all of this training with water, okay, as you said, right? If you have all of this training with water, why is it that when Nolan's body was found, it wasn't even nowhere in the water? Where his body was found was so far from the actual water to where it looked like his body was placed there. If his body had washed up on the shore, okay, it would have still been like in the water and on the shore. It's not going to push his body all the way up here over here on the bank. It's just not going to do it. I'm sorry. His body, clearly the way they're saying that his body was found face down on the damn sand, looked like somebody like dumped him there and got the hell out. So I'm not understanding why they keep, and this was before they even found out what happened to him. Oh, it was probably accidental drowning. Y'all didn't even investigate. So it's weird to me that every interview I hear them talking about Nolan is, drowning. It's possible drowning. People drown all the time in that area. Okay, but investigate to find out what the fuck happened to him. Because what happened to the back of his head? And why is all of his organs still not given over to being Crump and them so that they can complete their part of the autopsy? You guys should be done by now. What is this, week 3? It does not take 3 weeks to do no fucking autopsy. The damn toxicology
about the dangers out there, and teach people to be cautious. Right now, the autopsy report is still pending. The medical examiner at the Department of Public Safety handles that. Dr. Stacy Turner is a board-certified forensic pathologist, which means she's a doctor, an MD certified in forensics and pathology. And in my mind, probably the best medical examiner we've ever had in the state of Mississippi. She's been doing it a long time. She's very thorough and very well respected in her field. And she's going to look through this and see what the autopsy uncovers. And then we'll present that to the Jackson County Sheriff's Department. I've been on the phone with the sheriff, talked to him multiple times, and offered any assistance that we can. But right now, we're really waiting on the autopsy report to be completed and try to get witness statements and evidence from out in the field. I know the Sheriff's Department has put out a notice for folks to reach out. What I would tell folks is when you get on social media and you rant and rave and you intimidate and you create false narratives, there's going to be the possibility that witnesses aren't going to come forward because they don't want to be a part of all that. You think about the young girl that was last reported being in contact with Nolan and what she's had to go through with all the innuendos and things put on social media. Another witness might not come forward after watching that. And that's the tragedy of this situation. We're trying to gather information. The Jackson County Sheriff's Office is trying to gather information. We need witnesses to come forward. And this is counterproductive to those efforts.
Tell them boys probably too to not be intimidating people to not want to come forward too, right? I would think if they were directly connected to what happened to Nolan, because we heard, didn't we just hear Warren say, there was this right here happening, and my friend was involved. I'm not going to say his name. Why are we keeping names silent now? If this person was in a fight, say the name, put it on video. I'm not going to say that person's name. That's my friend. I'm not going to say his name. You guys are all protecting each other. You guys all saw something, so you're not going to tell on this person because you don't want this person to be interrogated and then they crack and then give your name and then somebody else's name that was also involved. That's what's going on here, right? We see it. We see it. Okay, let's keep going though, because I pulled some stuff that I want you guys to see. Now, remember in the interview with Warren, he went into this whole, synopsis of what happens with the Blige pump on a boat. We don't give a fuck about all of that. All right. But since you mentioned it, I've ran across this video where they are actually going into, and shout out to Nicole Everything, where they go into the Blige pump. Now, when they were on the 911 call, you can hear the lady asking them how much water is around the pump. How much water are you guys getting in? Are you guys sinking? Whatever. He couldn't tell how much water it was, but she's getting ready to show how easy it was while he was on the phone, the information he should have been giving to the 911 person. All right. And I understood the shit. And I don't really know about boats like that. Even I understood. So let's get into it.
Assistant, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
CTO assistant, Vicky speaking.
All right, so she's showing you guys this is the Blige pump. All right. Clearly, if that was full, you could have said, well, my Blige pump is full. If you're sitting there looking at this, you're on the boat. Why couldn't you relate to her the information that she just showed us, right? This is just like a reenactment. And she replayed the video where the 911 operator is asking how much water is in it. Is it ankle high? Like whatever. Like what is it? You couldn't even tell her that on the what? Clearly, he was distracted by what was going on with Nolan. We heard them hollering Nolan in the background. Clearly, he was more focused on that versus the phone call, right? I feel like that's what was going on. Let's play it again.
How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
This was an alibi call. I'm sorry. This call was an alibi call because y'all got to the land. Remember Warren said, next thing we know, we pulled the plug on it and we just was like, boom, we was out of there, right? So from what I read, if that much water was in that type of pump and your Blige pump was not operating as it should, you guys ain't driving no motherfucking where. And then I did see y'all had it chained up or roped up to another boat because at one point y'all said y'all were being pulled by another boat. But if your Blige pump is out from what I read, and I don't really know that much about boats, y'all ain't really going nowhere, let alone flying across the damn lake going back to the banks or wherever y'all came from, right? Like, it's just weird to me why all of a sudden it's not working and you're looking in this thing and water's just all over the battery and all over the this. But then all of a sudden y'all took this plug out and then y'all just, he said we were like this across the water. But then you can't explain to the person on the phone how much water. Clearly, she's just showing you right here. If that's full, then y'all are sinking. Y'all are definitely in trouble, right? Okay. So it seems like that call was made because when she asked you, do you need the United States Coast Guard? Y'all said, no, oh, no, we don't need them. Why not? Why not? If you're sinking and you're afraid and you're calling for help, why not ask for the Coast Guard? Y'all got the fuck out of there after y'all got off that phone because y'all knew once the Coast Guard come, one, y'all going to be found to be one, driving while drunk on the water. You're going to get a ticket for it. Two, whatever was going on with Nolan on that boat, y'all ass was going to be caught with that as well. He probably had drugs on the boat as well. That's why you said, hell no, y'all don't want the Coast Guard to come. There was a lot of things, a lot of factors in why y'all didn't want the Coast Guard to come, but you definitely couldn't give no straight answers to the person that was on the phone. And I feel like she felt some inconsistencies in what he was saying over the phone. And he was very much so distracted.
CETO Assistance, Vicky speaking. How can I help you?
Hey, we're at the west tip of Horn, and our bilge pump stopped working. We're sinking. Can y'all please come? We have a membership.
All right, of course. How far is the water coming up, sir? Can you give me a description? Ankles? Hello?
Y'all know something else too? If that was that much water in the boat where you guys are sinking, why we ain't hear no splashing around on the phone? We heard yelling. We heard breathing. We heard y'all talking. Why would you hear no water? If I'm standing in water and your boat is sinking, correct? Why would you hear no splashing around? People running back and forth in panic, splashing. Why would you hear no splashes in the background? That's another question I had.
Hey.
Yes. How far is the water coming up, sir?
It's coming up. We're just sinking. I don't know. Like we're going down now.
CETO Assistance.
I don't believe it. Sorry. You need more people. All right. So this is something that I pulled where somebody was saying this is what they actually heard on the call. And when I went back to listen, I actually heard the same thing. And they gave names. So shout out to them for that. So this person says, Magically Aqua says, oh my God, someone said Wyatt check his chest, meaning Nolan. Then he said Will, which then places Will there because you're talking to Will, right? Says then he muted the phone. Says so far we know that Will, Bart, Warren, who did the interview with that Tatum dude, Wyatt, who was on the phone with the 911 operator, and a female and another male, and possibly Nolan was on the boat, which makes 7 people because he told him 7 people. There's 7 people on the boat, right? So now that gives an account of who was actually on this damn boat, right? Yeah. All right. There we go. Let's watch. Y'all see the line? Remember they said they had to tie off to another boat. So this means y'all leaving. Y'all not coming there to Horn Island. Y'all are leaving. Okay. Now notice he said everybody had to get to one end of the boat because the boat was sinking. Why is everybody spread out on the boat right here? Okay. That's not what it appears here. According to what Warren in the interview, everybody had to get to the front of the boat or to the back of the boat because, the boat had to be tilted a certain way to keep the water from constantly coming into the boat before they sank. So everybody looks like they're all spread out and comfortable to me. I don't know. Now here, notice right here what I showed you guys, and I used this specifically yesterday for my thumbnail. That appears to be Nolan. If you look very closely, let's back it up a little. Okay, that's a person laying on the floor, which obviously looks like Nolan, right? I showed y'all that yesterday. So that's probably one of the reasons why they didn't want the Coast Guard to come, because he appears to be knocked the fuck out for whatever reason, right? All right, here they all are. Okay, here they all are. I just hate that he was out there with them. Okay, so that's 4. Oh, I did want to show y'all this too. So look who is texting right after this incident occurred. Look who's texting Nolan's mom. Ashley Cole, which is the judge, which is one of the boys' parents, Warren's mother to be exact. Okay, well, stepmother to be exact. All right, so as you guys can see, this is Christine Wells Wansley's phone. All right. So now, as you guys can see, Tuesday, July 7th at 8:59 p.m. Mind you, something happened they found him on the 6th, correct? Why was there no text messages on the 6th when they found him? July 6th at 8:45 a.m. I don't need no notes on that because I already talked about it. July 6th at 8:45 a.m. is when they found Nolan's body, even though Warren said he got a call on July 5th that they found Nolan. How the fuck when they didn't find him till July 6th? Anywho, so she waited, honey, a whole day after, knowing all this shit came out. It's all over the news that they found Nolan's body. Nolan is unalive. You know, your son was out there as well, but you waited, knowing that Nolan's mom, you said you went to school with her, you were good friends with her, you sympathized with her because you were a mother, y'all kids hang together, da-da-da-da-da. Why you wait a whole day after they found Nolan's body to reach out to this lady? And you said, Christine, this is Ashley Cole. If or when you ever want to talk to me, this is my number. What's she reaching out to you for? What's she reaching out to you for? So I guess you didn't have no time on July 6th to reach out to her because you were too busy deactivating accounts and lawyering up and everything else you had to do, because I'm sure your son came home in a panic to say, Mom, something happened to Nolan and I think we're going to all go to jail. What are we going to do? So you were too busy on the 6th trying to get alibis together, allegedly. Let's say allegedly, because I wasn't there, right? You were too busy getting alibis together. You were too busy helping them get their stories together. You were too busy prepping them to say, oh, you got to say something. We got to do an interview soon. Let's reach out to that coon Tatum black guy. You got to do an interview with a black guy so that it looks like we're, that we're totally being cooperative. He's going to be totally fair because he like white people anyway. He don't like his kind. So you should sit with him. And when you sit with him, this is what you should say from a judge standpoint. And don't mention this now. But focus more so on the boat breaking down and how you fix the boat and boat parts versus sticking to all of the right. Y'all caught that in the interview, right? This motherfucker was like he was a mechanic in the damn interview. I was like, bitch, I don't care about a blige pump. I don't care about a screw falling out over here. Like, what I do care about is where the fuck is Nolan and what happened to him. I don't give a fuck about the boat filling up and you had to go out there with a monkey wrench and lift this up and then go under there and weld this together. Like, I was like, I don't care about all that, right? But yes, it's giving y'all had to have time to get y'all shit together. Then you want to act like you so concerned on July 7th at 8:59 p.m., mind you. You don't wait it all damn day. This lady in the bed at 9 o'clock. I'm pretty sure she done been up crying all motherfucking day. She's in a panic. She probably already in the bed trying to get her some rest. And here you come. Sending her a message at 8:59. We're going to say 9. Shit. 9 p.m. on the day after they done found this boy's body to act concerned. Oh, she's my friend. We went to school together. She lived in my neighborhood. Why you get them drive over there? That's what you drive over there for. If y'all in the same neighborhood, get your ass up and drive over there because you know she's in a panic. You know she's crying. One of the things she really gonna need is a fucking hug, finding out her baby is gone. This ain't no fucking text message. This ain't no potluck, right? You send me a text message if you need to know what I want to bring to a motherfucking potluck. But somebody that lost their life, get your ass up and go over there if she's in your neighborhood and you know her, like you knew her enough to text her at 8:59. But they tell us, don't say that. Don't panic. Don't. Child, get out of here. Get out of here. 8:59. That's when you reach out. I digress. Let's move on because there's more. I call bullshit. All right. Now, I found this. Shout out to Nick Perkins because I love the way they did a comparison on this. We're going to take a look at it. Because, yes, these are more lies, honey. Let's look at some more lies. What else we going to do today? Shit. Let's look at some more lies. Because this is exactly what they're doing. And I love that they're all starting to come together and interview because now we can compare y'all stories and they're not panning out. So, yes, come on, keep sitting with Officer Tatum and doing interviews because I'm going to listen to what Warren had to say. And now this next friend who have now come forward to talk to, we're going to look at him in a second. All right? Because he's full of shit, too. So let's get into, says that Nolan Wells, 2 people, 1 story. Says, wait, did they just confirm the same fight? Let's get into this, honey.
And say, hey, your brother just got in a fight.
It sounds just like my other friend that got into an altercation on the boat. And they were trying to, like, as he was in the altercation, I was calming him down. They were trying to get him out off the island. They were trying to get him back to land because he was just losing it.
Someone was getting pulled away. I don't know who it was. I pulled my brother off the beach. And I was just like, listen, get in the water, hang out with us, calm down. I mean, he was calm, but I didn't want anything else to happen, And so once I got back over the boat, I got on the Triton, and the Triton had probably about 6 inches of water up to the transom. And I was freaked out.
So I'll tell the 911 operator that it has 6 inches of whatever to the transom whenever they ask. You were on the boat, Warren. We heard you in the background. So if Wyatt didn't know how much water, why Wyatt didn't say, Warren, how much water is it? You just said it was 6 inches to whatever to the Triton, whatever it is. I don't know. Why couldn't you have given it? Because you have all this precise information now. Why y'all didn't have it for the 911 operator on said same boat? Let's keep going.
One of my other friends, I don't want to say his name, but he had got an altercation. So I went and checked on him for about 20 minutes, 20 to 15 minutes. I came back, Nolan's boat and the people that he was with were gone. But the thing about the 2 boats that I said, there were 2 boats tied up. So therefore, I didn't know which boat Nolan exactly was on.
Bart pulls us out. You know, we left at 4:30, but we really weren't pulled out away from everybody. We were probably about a quarter mile out, and we had a towing strap pulled from, you know, Bart's port.
He said, I don't know exactly which boat Nolan was on. So they said they left him on the island. But Javon said, both boats were tied together. I left to go check on homeboy to calm him down. Was gone about a good 20 minutes or so. Came back. They had done skirted up out of there. But I don't know which boat Nolan was on. But you done sat there and told Officer Tatum, Nolan definitely said he's staying back on the island. But Javon places him on the boat. So that's why y'all was yelling at Nolan on the boat, because he was on the motherfucking boat. Let's keep going.
Starboard side cleat, and he was on our starboard side bow, and so it was rubbing on his power pole. So Bart turned around, pulled up next to our boat, and we were just trying to get it situated. So that's when Wyatt called Cito, and Wyatt was like, you know, calls him.
Do y'all hear the conflicting stories though? Very conflicting stories. Did y'all catch that? Oh, I love when lies come together, Lord. I love it. Let's keep going on. Let's keep going. We got more. All right. So, of course, y'all know Ben Crump was attacked, okay? Let's get into that by the Mississippi governor. All right, the Mississippi governor. So we're going to get into what was said with that, because Ben Crump did respond. So we want to get that too. I'm trying to give y'all all the info that I ran across, because, child, it's a lot going on. They are trying to quiet Ben Crump. They don't want him on this case, and we're on his page. Ben Crump, shout out to you, love. All right, so let's get into what we're going to play it, and then let's make it big. Hold on. All right, so we're going to play it, and we're going to stop it, because, and then too, it's music too, so I want to keep it muted until we get to. All right, so a statement from attorney Ben Crump. Y'all know that they were saying the Mississippi governor was saying that Ben Crump and I told you guys Al Sharpton, they're saying is responsible for I don't know, making these people get on social media and threaten these guys and threaten their lives and sending out all these threats. They're just investigating. They're just, you know, doing their press. They've not said anything about y'all go attack these boys. They've never said any of that. They've never told nobody to attack. They're mostly saying that they want to know what happened to Nolan, right? But so now he's saying, oh, they're going to be responsible, and there's going to be charges up against them for inciting threats in this Nolan Wells case. When did that happen? So statement from attorney Ben Crump. He says the Mississippi governor's attempted attacks on me ring hollow in the face of the actual evidence, right? So they want him to shut up and stop investigating, because they want to push this drowning narrative. But Crump said, fuck out of here. So when Nancy Grace asked United States Cajun Navy President Todd Terrell on her July 20th episode of Crime Stories, whether Nolan Wells was found face down and fully clothed on the beach, he said yes. Let's play some. So it can go up. All right. Said that is the record. Said that this has never been. This has never been about casting aspersons? I guess that's how you say it. Or attacking anyone. Said that our sole purpose is to uncover the truth on behalf of our client, the family of Nolan Wells, and to determine what happened to their son while he was on Horn Island on July 4th, right? He said, I've always stood for the truth, no matter who it implicates or exonerates. He said, I stand for justice, no matter who it convicts or acquits. He said that we are demanding transparency so that everyone can see the facts for themselves and have confidence that this investigation follows the evidence where it leads. All right, or wherever it leads. So that's Ben Crump responding to the damn commissioner trying to issue out some damn threats, saying that he might be getting some charges when this is all said and done for inciting threats. I've never heard him incite no threats, and neither did Al Sharpton. Okay, he offered money in addition to the 100,000 that was already there. Like, they upped it. Thank God that other people are giving money towards it. And yeah, that the more money that's offered, maybe people come out and speak, right? So that's not a crime. I mean, the feds always put out reward money for people to come out and speak. So I don't see why they're attacking him for that. Okay. Oh, I definitely want y'all to see this. This is coming from a nurse. Check this out, y'all. I ran into this last night and I saved it. So I said, yeah, I want to play this for you guys, because this definitely enlightens you guys a little bit more on the findings of Nolan and the throat region and all the things that they were saying that was going on. This sketchy shit that's going on with the autopsy. Let's let him break it down. This nurse, and he broke it down so eloquently. Let's get into it, child. Shout out to him. All right.
There are two pieces of information in this Nolan Wells case, which I'm reluctant to comment upon, but I've had people reach out to me in my DMs for information. As a clinical nurse in the trauma setting, we see two things that are very concerning to us. Number one, that a drowning victim would have fluid in their lungs, pulmonary edema, and they'd have the actual substance that they were in their lung space. You'd see laryngeal spasms, and you'd see the alveoli be filled with this fluid. Now, it may also be filled with a protein that, when lung damage occurs, the hypoxia occurs, it'll make patients produce a foam type substance. So foam is there sometimes, but we definitely see the fluid in the lungs. So I'm not sure why on the state's autopsy, that's an easy conclusion on drowning. That you see the actual fluid in the lungs itself, and you could extract it and be able to test it against whatever, but you see that the patient inhaled fluid, and that's what caused them their cause of death.
Let's stop. So now they're trying to push this drowning narrative. What he's saying is, immediately when you go into the esophageal region, when you go into the lung area, and immediately when you see that foam, you can pull that foam from that area and you can test it. Now, they're saying that this woman is very well versed in being a coroner. She's done it for years. They trust her findings. My thing is, immediately when you opened him up and you didn't see no foam, then baby, you know that your ass is on, that your ass need to get on the phone. When you didn't see no phone, get your ass on the phone. And you should have been calling down there and sending the rest of that shit down there for the second autopsy while you were doing yours. It was not needed for you to keep all that stuff back. Okay, his throat region, the inside of him, none of that shit should have been kept back. You have been doing this for years. You should have automatically known, one, you could have ruled out drowning because you didn't see the foam and all this shit that he was saying that should have been in there if he drowned, right? I don't feel like he drowned. I feel like he was placed there. But let's continue, because this is coming from a nurse. All right.
Is that on the independent autopsy, the patient's missing a large portion of their throat. The cervical vertebra here is missing. And the bigger piece is what's called the hyoid bone. And this bone floats basically independently right under here. And you can see it move sometimes. But when patients have had any type of blunt trauma to this area, whether it's a form of strangulation or being punched or anything like that, that bone will be fractured, broken, or displaced or dislocated.
Pause. Now, didn't we hear there was an altercation? I don't want to say that friend's name. Didn't we hear there was an altercation? Didn't we hear Nolan was something was going on with Nolan? It could have been he was punched. I'm saying hypothetically, right? One, I feel like something might have been put in his drink if they say he was drinking heavily. I don't know. Two, I feel like he might have been punched hard in the throat, right? Or grabbed from behind and choked out. Bottom line is, he looked knocked the fuck out in the boat, right? There's one or two ways you can knock somebody out. You can put them in the sleeper hold. You can punch them real hard in the face and knock them out. You can hit them in the throat region. Like, there's many ways that you can knock a person out. But there's a reason why I feel that they're withholding this throat area, because there may have been some injury to that area, right? So we've already heard them come forward to say that there were multiple fights that day, one in which might have involved Nolan, where he might have been screaming back at someone, "Give me my effing phone, Could it be that one of them socked him or hit him in the throat region, in addition to maybe him getting hit in the back of the head? Something violent happened to him for him to be laying on the floor in that boat, and for them to be saying, "Oh my God, Nolan, is he dead?" Let's keep going though. I'm just saying.
Fix. And without the independent investigators' autopsy having that information, it's going to make it difficult for them to kind of prove whether there was foul play. But the bigger issue is that
that's why they kept the throat area. He said it's going to be difficult for them to come to the conclusion that there was some type of attack, right?
But the bigger issue is,
go back.
And that's an easy fix. And without the independent investigators' autopsy having that information, it's going to make it difficult for them to kind of prove whether there was foul play. But the bigger issue is that while the state has already declared drowning as the cause of death, if the riptides was the actual causing factor of the patient's demise. I hope this helps clear some of this stuff up.
Yeah, no. Yeah, no. They're going to have to do better than that. So this could be why everyone is so hush-hush. Nobody's talking about anything. Nobody's sharing anything. I feel like they saw something in that neck region. That's why they immediately cut that shit out. And coincidentally, after they found out that there's getting ready to be a second autopsy, right? I feel like this person, whatever her name is, that Richard Simmons looking bitch, that's the coroner there in Mississippi. All right. I feel like she didn't, first of all, want nobody to one up her because she feels like she's this coroner in Mississippi. She's well, they said that she's, they have this highest regard for her. So maybe she's feeling herself like, bitch, who are you to go over my head to do a fucking second autopsy when I'm the one that's doing the autopsy? So now I'm going to make your shit inconclusive by cutting out all the places that you're going to need to actually look into to come to a resolution for your autopsy. So you ain't going to get the info before me. That's what it gives. It gives that you're not going to come up with the answers before me. So I'm going to withhold the information that you're going to need to get to your conclusion. Right? They hiding some shit. Trust me. We're going to get to it, though. We going to get to it. All right. So what we got here? All right. So before we get into this interview, let me go ahead and show y'all. Let's go ahead and get into this Carmelo. And sorry to jump around too much. All right, guys. So let's go ahead and give you guys the information for Carmelo's upcoming trial stuff, so y'all know what's going on with that. Okay, I'll give y'all all the info today. All right, all the info. So as we know, Carmelo Anthony's motion for a new trial is scheduled for Thursday, August 20th, 2026 at the Collin County Courthouse in McKinney, Texas. All right. They said that this refers to 19-year-old Carmelo Anthony, not the former NBA player. We know that, right? I think everybody knows that. All right. So here in details is this judge recusal hearing, which is Wednesday, August 19th, 2026 at 9 a.m. presided over by Judge Sid Harley to address removing Judge John Roach Jr. We're praying that this goes in Carmelo's favor, right? Prayers up. All right, so the new trial hearing is Thursday, August the 20th, 2026. So the day after the recusal hearing will be the new trial hearing, all right, which is expected to last an entire full day, all right? So there's a lot of shit for them to chop through, so it's going to be all damn day, all right? Location, Collin County Courthouse in McKinney, Texas. For those of you that want to go, this will be open to the public, finally, because they did not want the original trial for Carmelo to be publicized, right? They had all these rules and regulations. Cameras can't be here. We don't want this person there. Why? Because they know y'all knew y'all was on the fuck shit. So both hearings are scheduled to be open to the public. So for those of you that live in the Texas area, get on over there. Take a day off. Go up there, honey, and sit and get the information sent back to me. All right, so I ain't got to fly out there. Okay, so it will be both hearings, the recusal hearing and the new trial hearing will be open to the public. So for those of you that maybe are flying to, if you're going to be in Texas that day or those couple days, go to the hearing, sit and listen to what's going on in this Carmelo case. All right, and send me the information. All right, and for those of you that that you're interested in it, go and be supportive to Carmelo, because he did not get to see a lot of us during the time that his trial was going on. I mean, they tried to be there, but the judge got him up out of there as being jurors. So now this will be open to the public. So shout out to them for that. Okay, I wanted to put that information out there for y'all. All right, so we got that. Was there anything else? Oh, let's get into this pinky code before we get into that. Shout out to Jamal Owens in Broward County, because this person is airing out pinky code, you guys, from Real Housewives of Atlanta. Let's get into it. Her Slutty Vegan Atlanta restaurant. So this says that Pinky Cole Hayes, Slutty Vegan Atlanta, playing on y'all emotion with some up and down bankruptcy, crying on camera bullshit. So he's trying to say she out here faking the funk, crying on TV and shit about this damn Slutty Vegan restaurant business. So he says, I speak from my own experience that nobody in the industry would understand. He said, it ain't shit healthy about Slutty Vegan Atlanta. He says, and Pinky Cole Hayes always on some fake happy weird shit. He said that don't waste my time if you ain't really fucking with me, Pinky. And of course, you ain't gotta fuck with me now. Oh, so it sounds like some bad blood between them, child. Let's get into the mess. Oh, girl. So this person says, at Pinky Cole and Slutty Vegan Atlanta. So he adding everybody. He said the #1 bullshitter in the vegan community. poisoning our people with that processed bullshit. So in retrospect, it sounds like he's saying that the shit really ain't like vegan stuff, that it's some processed shit that she putting together and whipping it up back there in the kitchen and feeding it to the people, telling them it's vegan when it's some processed shit. They back there popping cans and stirring it up versus chopping, the real shit up and making real vegan food. Now, I knew that's why I ain't checked out your food, right? I'm right here in Atlanta. I said, I ain't never had slutty vegan before, and I'm glad I never did. If y'all doing some processed shit, I don't like no processed food, girl. So this person said, hey, let's set up a tasting. Looking for a vegan chef for my wedding, all right? This person here says it in my inbox, but act weird in person. Ooh. So it looks like they're reading. Says that got an assistant setting up meeting with me for 90-day residency to create a menu for Baltimore or DC. Y'all know she's opening up 2 new locations too. I told you guys, I think for Baltimore and DC location, and wasted my time. Expected to be happy and do it for free. So anyway, so this person is saying, hey, do not use slutty vegan, honey, because they on the bullshit over there. They are literally poisoning our people, right here, these, with processed bullshit, and you should not eat it, right? I would think that vegan food would be like, I know they'd be doing like mushrooms, like grounded up the mushrooms and making burgers and shit like that out of it. Beans, like there's ground up beans and stuff like that to make like patties and stuff like that. So if they're using processed stuff, that's not really what you would call vegan. Like I know you can do like veggies in the can, but I want fresh shit if I'm gonna do slutty vegan, right? Y'all better have with the can opener and shit. That's what it sounds like. Do. And then when a customer come in and y'all better like this, like hibachi, chopping up some shit out the can to make it seem like y'all really doing the shit. But Pinky, girl, they on your ass over here. Okay, I hope you see this. Let's go and put it back up there. There you go, Pinky. All right, shout out to Jamal Owens from Broward County because he just blasted your ass, baby. All right. Was that it? Okay. All right, so let's get into this interview because I don't want to be on here too long. All right. Shit is like what, 45 minutes? Oh, Jesus. So it's gonna make my video slightly long, but I'm gonna speed up the interview. All right, so we can kind of get to the nitty-gritty of it all. So let's get back into race Tatum. All right, race Tatum. Let's look at your ass again because I'm sick of you and them tight ass pants on and them short ass boots you wearing every fucking interview. All right. Them short ass ankle boots that I know smell like funky ass feet. You probably smell like Martell feet up in them hoes because you don't wear them on every fucking interview. All right, you ain't made enough money from these interviews to get you no more damn boots. You wide faced ass heathen. I just had to go off on him. I'm sorry because he just really sends me, and I can't tell you where he's sending me right now, but it's nowhere good. Okay. Oh, I had to roll my eyes too. Golly. All right, so let's get into it. Let me get my playback speed 125. All right, so we're gonna keep it on that. Let's get into this bullshit. All right. So Nolan Wells, another Nolan Wells best friend. Yeah, okay. Breaks his silence about what had happened. Now, I can't call these boys friends. Why he look dirty? He like he just finished shoveling concrete or something. But okay, let's get into it, child. All right, you picked him up from the job site. Let's get into it.
Did you have anything to do with Nolan's death?
No.
Do you have personal knowledge of someone directly in your friend group having anything to do with Nolan's death?
No, not at all.
Let's get into some more lies, okay? Race bait.
So I saw you on television. You had an interview, and I felt like you laid out a few things that I think the world needs to know and be clear about.
Okay.
And the first one is the relationship that you had with Nolan. Can you explain your relationship with Nolan?
Yeah, I will. So his mom got on TV, as everybody has seen, and said that she didn't know me. And man, that can't be farther from the truth. Me and Nolan, I met Nolan in 9th grade in our second block class. It was math. He was one of the first guys I made friends with. It was somebody I made a connection to, like off rip. He was an athlete.
Now, if Christine Wansley, which is Nolan's mom, says she don't know you, people like to say, and I don't mean to pause it right here. People always like to say they know you just because maybe they've seen you a few times. That don't make you know me. That don't mean that you know me, right? Know me is you done been in my house, you done hung out with me, I got your phone number, I done called your mama, that type thing. You done spent the night at my house, I done got up and made you breakfast the next day. You might have took a few trips with me, Nolan, and the family, right? Know me is that, right? Know me is that. Maybe that's what she means. Like she, you know.
I could tell he was an athlete. When I walked into class, we sat really close to each other. And all he did, he turned around and asked me for a pencil when I first met him in 9th grade when I moved to Ocean Springs. Man, it was tough. And the relationship there has always been a best friend in my eyes. I never wanted to take away how close somebody else was with Nolan, but Nolan was my best friend. That was a guy I knew I could call at any point in time. He called me at 11 o'clock on the 4th to see where I was parked at. Man, me and Nolan have countless nights of him giving me advice on my girlfriend, on my life in general. Nolan has been the only friend.
Can y'all hear it with me speeding it up to 1.5? Can y'all hear that?
I love my friends and my best friend in this group of guys, but Nolan has been the only person that ever told me, like, he's proud of what I've done. He's proud of how hard I worked. He's proud of me going overseas to go play ball. That was my guy. Like, that was my best friend.
Yeah, and so how does it make you feel when the media activists are coming out and alluding to the fact that you may have something to do with what happened to Nolan on that day?
Man, that hurts. It hurts is an understatement. I beat myself up every night I lay down. I beat myself up anytime it crosses my mind. Because in my head, if I wasn't drinking, if I didn't get into that altercation, maybe I would be able to do something. Maybe I would have saw something. Maybe I would have told Nolan.
So it said that he might have been one of the people that was in an altercation on the beach that day or Horn Island that day with someone else. I'm thinking it might have been Warren's brother. Y'all remember Warren just did the interview that said it was his little brother who got into an altercation. He had to call him into the water to calm him down. So I'm assuming this is the guy that they were into the altercation with.
Hey, man, you're not going with that girl. Just come back with us. We're going back a little bit later. We can go meet up with the guys later. Maybe it just plays out different. And then the fact that they're going to play that is I'm already trying to mourn my friend's death as is, and I'm blaming myself for it.
Oh, yes. This brings back my football.
All right, let's get past this ad. Yeah, that people always, I know you don't know me because you asked me a question.
Let's go to baseball.
Somewhere, you don't know me.
To put that in my head is a next level of hurt that can't be truly explained. Because it's hard to put into words. Generally, it's backstabbing from a sense of a community that I thought I had with my skin color, and they stay so strong together, and I'm supposed to be one of them, but I come up and I speak, and now I'm the person to blame. Now I'm not dark enough for them. I'm not black enough for them, and now I'm the.
It's not about race, love. This has never been about race. I don't even think it was ever about race when it was Ben Crump and Al Sharpton up there talking. They just said that we want justice for Nolan Wells, and that this is a very similar case to other cases in Mississippi where our black boys have gone unnoticed and undetermined on autopsies. That's all they said in terms of black, but they just said they want justice. He's a civil rights attorney, so naturally he's going to take a case of a young black man. That don't have shit to do with your skin color at all. So we, again, Officer Tatum, here you go in the direction of race again.
It doesn't make sense. In my head, it doesn't make sense.
Was Nolan, I mean, obviously you were in a friend group, but the way the media makes it seem is that almost as if Nolan was the only black person in this whole friend group. Now, they don't even mention you. They don't bring you up in this whole thing when it comes to, what happened at Horn Island. So what's your take on Nolan being, presented as like the only black kid in a group of all these white boys?
That's crazy, man. I know we've spoken a little bit, but that friend group that I'm a part of to this day was the first friend group I was in when I moved to Ocean Springs as a new kid coming in. I never knew any of them. I known one kind of, sort of, back from grade school because we went to the same private school together, but that was it. And him being the only black person minority, any of that measure, is insane. Our friend group is diverse from the max. Like, we have a mixed guy. I mean, we had Nolan in our friend group. There's an Asian a part of our friend group. There's a Latino that they're trying to perceive as white. He's truly authentic Mexican. His parents are from Mexico. They came over legally and they did everything right, and he's been here since. It blows my mind because our friend group is not a friend group that sees race. Our friend group sees what good you do for other people, what good you.
You don't have to be a racist to attack somebody. Let's go ahead and make that very clear. Whatever happened that day, it could have been jealousy over Katie McCormick, which is the girl in question. We already heard Warren say he sat there and stared at Nolan and Katie for quite some time, where he watched him, obviously, from him walking from one point to another, him watching him and Katie in the water, where Nolan was grasping her butt underwater. He noticed all of that. So you literally looking at Katie. Katie's a beautiful girl, no homo. Katie's a beautiful girl. I told y'all Javon dated her, even took her to the prom. She's a beautiful girl. So she's probably one of those girls that they all wish they could have had a chance with, but she chose Nolan. She took a liking to Nolan. So that could have been a slap in the face. Been like, who the fuck is Nolan? Like, I'm finding it out, like, why is she choosing him? Guys have that ego type thing. So it could have caused a little friction, and Nolan probably a little cocky about it, okay? He was not a bad looking guy. I'm pretty sure he probably talked a little shit too. Who cares? That does not warrant him not being here anymore. We're just saying hypothetically, it could have started by a little jealousy with guys wanting to be with this Katie McCormick girl.
And how the type of person you truly are and where your morals lie. That's one thing in common. Me and my friends might not agree on everything, but our morals align. Our morals know. So for them to even make that narrative up really shows you have no idea what it's like down here on the coast. You have no idea how tight-knit Ocean Springs as a community is. You don't understand it. You don't see the thousands of kids in the high school football stands cheering their team on. Nobody cares what color you are. We're there to have fun and to just live. And that's how Nolan lived. That's how I live now. I'm growing up and I have more big boy stuff, but in high school, all I cared about was going to hang out with my guys. And I mean, on a personal level that leads off of it, it's like, it got me in trouble with my girlfriend just because I want to be with the guys. I never once thought, man, they look at me different. Man, I'm kind of an outcast to them. No. All their moms have always welcomed me with open arms. Anytime I needed anything, I knew I could call them and their parents, and they would do anything in the world for me. So with Crump punching this narrative, it's wrong.
Yeah,
it's completely wrong, especially about our friend group.
Yeah, I find it, especially after talking to you, meeting some of the guys, that it seems like there was an agenda. But can you walk us through just your perspective from that day? I don't know if did you go with them initially? Were you a part of the group that went to Horn Island?
So I wasn't, clear that up. No, I was not on the boat with them. Yes, I was a part of the group that was supposed to go out. So the only reason why I did not go on the boat is I got begged to go, but my uncle, we also took 12 people out on our boat, not including us two, so 14. And my uncle knows the passengers wouldn't have helped. Generally wouldn't have helped with anything. With that many people on a boat, you need a little bit of help.
So he didn't go with them, it sounds like.
Until they make an unexpected leap.
So my uncle was like, hey, can you just ride out with me and you can go do your thing throughout the day on the island? I don't care. I don't need you. I just need help. Get out there and then pick everything up. Because I know all these people are going to be drunk and they're not going to want to do the extras that nobody sees about going out on the boat, right? And so I told Wyatt that. And oops, my bad. But I told him.
It's good.
His arms folded up is just giving me this vibe. I don't know, body language is taking me somewhere. I don't know. Is anybody else noticing that? Put your hands down on your lap or something. It's giving me
that
vibe.
And I told him everything, which was go to.
It's coming off as defensive as hell.
Plan. We were leaving a little bit earlier than them. I was gonna try to have a spot saved out. And Nolan calls me at 11 o'clock. I missed his phone call. Called me twice. I missed both of them. I saw Wyatt and Nolan on the boat. They pulled right in front of our boat. And they were screaming. I turned my head and I was like, yo, there's a spot over there, where they end up anchoring out. I helped them set their stern anchor. From the time they showed up until now, going back to it, 20 minutes before they left, I was with them. That's who I was with. I spent all day with them, minus the morning time before they got out there. But from the time they got out there to the time they went back in, I was with them. Those are my friends, man. Those are my guys.
Yeah, I want to get a few more details.
I'm sorry about that.
I know that. Yeah, go ahead. I know that you were all over the news because there was a perceived fight. People, this is the thing that gets me, and I want to clarify this. When I saw the video that they put out on the internet claiming that Nolan was saying, "Give me my effing phone back," Nolan's coach came out and said immediately he knew it wasn't Nolan's voice. And obviously it wasn't Nolan's voice because you were the one that was in there yelling. You got into an altercation with somebody. What happened after that? Like, put me in your place where the fight is over. Whatever happened. Nolan is somewhere. You're somewhere. You're hanging out. And when was the last time that you saw Nolan before you left Horn Island?
So after the fight, I didn't stay on Horn Island much longer. So the objective, I was really upset. So with you hearing me yelling, my uncle had told me to get on the boat and wouldn't let me back off the boat. Obviously, I was really mad and I wanted to fight, wanted to get off. Wasn't smart, man. And so I was on the boat, I'm yelling. And shortly after that, I left the island. I left probably 30 to 45 minutes after I got into a fight. We started to pack up and left because I was so upset. As Javon mentions, that they were ready to get me back to land because I was really mad. I was genuinely really mad. But the last time I saw Nolan, I was walking to the boat. This was before the fight. It's me and my old lady. We had just got out of a group of people. Nolan was walking towards Wyatt's boat. I was walking in the opposite direction towards my boat. And I dabbed Nolan up. I made a slick comment about something, actually about the girl that he was with. I made a slick comment to him. I was joking around, and I kept going. And not even 10 minutes after that is when I got into a fight. Last thing I told Nolan was, all right, buddy, I love you. See you later. And I'm glad I said it. I had been under the influence a little bit, and that's probably why I did say it at the time, just, getting all lovey-dovey. But I'm at peace I said it. I'm glad I said it. That was my last encounter with Nolan. Just telling him I love him.
Did you have any So you leave the island. Did you have any encounters or association with these phones, with the keys? Did you have any connection to that?
I did not. So what I know, Warren started. I got my first phone call from Warren at about 9:20. I didn't answer it. I was asleep. I'd been on the boat all day. I didn't feel like going to party anymore. I went to bed. So I got my first phone call about 9:20, and I didn't wake up again until a little after 11 o'clock. And that was to my brother coming in the room being like, "Hey, Warren's trying to get a hold of you. You need to answer the phone. They're looking for Nolan." And I'm half awake, and I pick up the phone.
So Warren was doing all the calling around. Coincidentally, Warren was on the damn boat with Wyatt when all that screaming about Nolan was being was going on.
So this time, nobody had came to the house to grab anything. And Warren gets on the phone, and he's just like, "Hey, man," he was like, "Hey, have you talked to Nolan? Anything else?" I was like, "No, I haven't talked to him, man. He was with that girl last time I knew." And he was like, "Okay." He was like, "Man, we can't get a hold of him. We don't know where he's at." And I was like, "Man, it's Nolan. He's probably just out somewhere with that girl. Like, get a hold of the girl. You'll probably find Nolan." There's no.
So how would you get a hold of Nolan when y'all know y'all had Nolan's phone and keys, mind you?
Big deal. And he was like, "All right." He was like, "But we're starting to freak out. We're getting on the phone with Coast Guard." I was like, "Okay." And at that time, he'd already talked to his mom, Nolan's mom, and he was getting on the phone with the Coast Guard. And I'd called. I need to be specific about this. I did not call Warren's phone. I called another one of our buddies' phone, and it was on speakerphone. They were all together. I was talking on my other buddy's phone, talking to Warren. He was dialing Coast Guard because he hung up the phone and was like, "Hey, this is him," and hung up the phone. And that was the last time I talked to him until the next morning when we all decided. Well, when I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning, we had all decided that we were going to go out on the boat and go look for Nolan. Wyatt had already had his boat still in the water. We took that boat out. It was
what day are we talking?
Ha ha ha! Wyatt still already had his boat out on the water. Now, how is it that Wyatt's boat was still out on the water when Wyatt's boat was seen at the judge's house being cleaned? So when exactly did Wyatt put this boat back on the water? Because Nolan's body coincidentally was found on July 6th at 8:45, which leads me to believe somebody done went back out there. Because y'all already pulled the boat back out in front of the judge's house where y'all was cleaning it. He just said that Wyatt's boat was still out on the water. So how the fuck was it in two places at one time? Did y'all catch that? Ooh, let's back that back just a little bit. Listen to what he said. I told y'all the other day it was seen. Somebody drove by and saw Wyatt's boat in front of the judge's house, which is Warren's stepmama, right? So how is it when he said Wyatt's boat was already on the water? Why would it be back on the water when y'all already took the boat out there? What were y'all going back out there for?
I called another one of our buddies' phone, and it was on speakerphone. They were all together. I was talking on my other buddy's phone, talking to Warren. He was dialing Coast Guard because he hung up the phone and was like, "Hey, this is him," and hung up the phone. And that was the last time I talked to him until the next morning when we all decided. Well, when I woke up about 7 o'clock that morning, we had all decided that we were going to go out on the boat and go look for Nolan. Wyatt had already had his boat still in the water. We took that boat out. It was
what day are we talking?
That's Sunday morning.
Sunday morning on the 6th, the 5th?
So it was Saturday the 4th was the 4th of July. Mm-hmm. The 5th was Sunday. We were on the water from 9:45.
So y'all went out on the 5th. Nolan was found on the 6th. Does that sound a little weird? He just said y'all went out there Sunday, which was the 5th. Nolan was found July the 6th at 8:45 a.m. So y'all boat was already out there. Did somebody already go back out there? But he just went back out there anyway to make it look like he was looking for him? I'm just saying hypothetically. Let's keep going.
To 11:50, 12 o'clock era, about lunchtime. While we were on the water, we talked to a rescue guy, and he told us to get off the water and said that they kind of had the island in the water under control. That's the professionals, man.
Yeah.
They told us to get on social media and find out any information we can. And by that time, we had already talked to a good amount of people out there. So it just made sense. So we went back in and we concluded our search and started to search all socials and started sharing everything we could and try to get a hold of anybody that
share anything on social media, because all y'all shut y'all social media down after it was found that Nolan was missing. So that's another lie. All y'all deactivated and lawyered up on July the 4th, and that's confirmed. So y'all took y'all asses back there on July the 5th. Nolan was found July the 6th at 8:45. So that gives, that's some wiggle room, right? That puts y'all back on the water. And y'all know this area. Y'all know this lake, this island. So y'all know how to go where y'all go probably unseen. But my thing is Wyatt. Wyatt is the person who called. This is what's fucking me up. Wyatt is the person who called on the 911 call to say that his blige pump was not working. When did your blige pump get to working for y'all to put that same boat back on the water to go back out there the very next day on July 5th to go look for Nolan? So why would y'all take a defective boat that obviously was about to sink? Are y'all following me? A boat that was about to sink back on the water in this same lake, this same island that y'all were sounding so distressed in, where the boat was filling up with water. Y'all took Wyatt's boat right back out there.
Could have talked to Nolan, that no one possibly would have reached out to. And that led into the night. It led all night long. I didn't sleep at all Sunday. Monday, I was up at 5 a.m. I was putting fuel in our boat at 6. I got told that we were taking out another boat to Chandelier at 7. So I put my boat back on the lift. And I went to McDonald's, and then I got the news after I left McDonald's that his body was found. So it was already a plan that we were going and searching and trying to do everything we possibly can. And that's all I wanted to do. Is I wasn't there to help him out in his last minutes, but now I feel like as a friend and as one of my guys, man, I do everything in my power to help now. And that's why I have reached out to the family. I have donated to the family, and I have giving them just.
Were you at the funeral?
Your normal death gifts, I would say, as you pay your respects. And
do you think Benjamin Crump being involved in this case made it better or worse?
100,000 times.
Y'all hear this indirect attack on Ben Crump? Why is this interview not kept on Nolan and the times and what happened? That's what this interview is supposed to be about. You're supposed to be interviewing him about where he was, what happened, what he knows about the death of Nolan, et cetera, who he was with, Why do we keep plugging this Ben Crump in there? It's like you have this underlining issue with Ben trying to find out the truth. And because you just have a liking to these boys, Ben is becoming public enemy number one in your interview. And I'm not feeling it.
Worse. Because why on a Tuesday after where has your civil rights been broken? Where has it been shown? You brought Benjamin Crump to stir up a community that's already tight knit. Yeah, we might not be best friends with everybody, but I promise, if you're talking about Ocean Springs as a whole, Ocean Springs is going to have Ocean Springs back 110%. We back each other. Everybody I've seen, we back each other. And for them to push this narrative and really push it, just shows me is like you have no idea who you're dealing with or who you're messing with. And I think he's taking the grieving parents and manipulating and turning this and making it sound all bad, because nothing's like that at all. No.
Have you got death threats? Or, because I know that the other young men that I spoke to about this, especially the white young men, they're getting all kind of death threats. They're being accused.
Again, race baiting. Anybody can get a death threat. Y'all said that all of you guys' friends were of all races. So white, especially the white ones. But I'm sure everybody that was Nolan friends probably got it, because everybody wants to know what happened. If you were there with Nolan that day and you ain't speaking out on what the fuck happened, I'm pretty sure you're getting a death threat. It don't matter, Mexican, black, white, Puerto Rican, all of them getting it, right? All of them. I'm roasting all their asses. I don't give a hot damn if you African in this bitch. I'm roasting all y'all asses.
Accused of killing Nolan. Did you get the same backlash and threats that some of those guys have gotten?
Yes, I've gotten the death threats per se, but I've also gotten the threats along the lines of where it's like I've been cast out of the black community. I've been called white. I've been called a wetback. All these things. I've been sent photos of me and my grandmother.
How are y'all getting all these death threats when y'all deactivated y'all accounts? I'm trying to figure where are they sending. I said this yesterday. Where are they sending these threats to? Are they putting it in your mailbox? Right, they drive by your house, put them in the mailbox, and they put it under your windshield wiper because y'all deactivated y'all social media accounts. So how the fuck are they giving y'all these death threats? I'm trying to figure out.
And they've been told that she's the devil. She's just looking for the time to kill you. You need to be careful and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, man, if y'all want to know the story.
Easy and delicious.
It's a lot of beating around the bush in this interview right here, I see. I want to get to the facts. Fuck all that friendship and threats. That's normal. You want to know the truth and they feel like you lying.
The only people that showed up for me in my whole life has been my white side of my family. So for y'all to sit there and drag their name and to drag me down, and I'm supposed to be one of y'all, and you're supposed to have my back, and we're supposed to be in this together, and it's really eye-opening.
Did it shock you that it turned this way? Meaning that, you know, you see everything happen. Nolan was your friend. From all the young men I talked to, it seemed like Nolan was the life of the party. Everybody loved Nolan. He gets along with everybody. Everybody's cool. Everybody feels like Nolan made them feel like everybody's his best friend, right? I mean, everybody felt connected to Nolan. Were you shocked that it turned like this? I mean, where this community was tight-knit, Nolan's friend group was tight. He ends up losing his life in an unfortunate situation, which nobody knows exactly what happened. Did it shock you that it turned into some racial thing?
Yes, racial, I do agree. Now, it going famous or going viral, that part didn't shock me. Thinking about it and being honest, like, that's not a surprise because everybody did love Nolan. Especially around here, everybody loved Nolan. So for people to repost that, they know Nolan. I mean, they know he did not have one hateful thing in his heart. And racism, no, that was a shock. That was a complete shock from his mom and from his stepdad. Like, that's a shock. That's an utter shock because it's like, first off, I don't know how to word this. Nolan wasn't fully black. Nolan's mixed. Nolan has a little bit of Asian in him. You don't hear that though.
I mean, hello, we knew that from his mom, who was half Filipino. I think we knew that, right? When we looked at her immediately, we knew that she was mixed, which then that would make him mixed. Why is this a race thing? Let's get to what happened to him.
You don't. So to turn it as like somebody's harping down on Nolan because of the color of his skin, you don't know us. You don't know our community. It's crazy that people are just running with a lie. And it's so easy for people to believe it from the outside, looking into Mississippi's history per se. But it's like, you're looking at history. Let's go to each state's history. I bet they're not the best with black people. Like, people change. You learn history so you don't repeat it. Everybody knows that.
What's the craziest lie that you've seen floating around there about this situation? I know there's a lot of mysterious things, but like, to you, what's the craziest thing that you've heard somebody say about this?
That my buddy in the photo was his lover. That was wild. That's been the utmost craziest because it's like, what? Like, where'd you get that from? Yeah. I mean, also the lies of just how racist Mississippi is or how racist the coast is in Ocean Springs. And yeah, no, you don't know this, man. Like, you have no idea. And what I thought was crazy a lie from the beginning was he's the only black person on the boat. He's the only black person on the island. No, not at all. Like, not once. Like, where'd you get this background information from?
How many people are on the island from your vantage point?
On the 4th of July?
Yeah.
Thousands? 13 miles? Like, I mean, you're talking hundreds and hundreds of boats that are carrying minimum 4 to 8, 9 people. Like, I'm talking like on the lower end, and we're talking about smaller vessels here. Man, if I had to take a rough estimate in my area of the island that I was in, 400, 500 people easy. If I'm taking an actual estimate, about 400 to 500 people easy. In our group, in the group of, I would say, young adults that were in the group of Nolan Wells, 100, 150, 200 people.
So the idea that Nolan went out with 4 white boys and they took him to a deserted island and he was allegedly last seen with a girl and they just abandoned him. What do you say to that?
No. From the time they left, including myself, and
How do you know you weren't there? You just said you left early because you got into a fight. You were upset. Your dad told you not to get off the boat. Now you're speaking on hearsay, and we don't want to hear that. You said you left 45 minutes after you chucked up the deuces to Nolan and this girl he was with, I'm assuming, was, what's the child name again? Child, I keep forgetting these names. Katie McCormick, okay? You left early, so you don't know who left when, who did whatever happened after you left. You weren't there, so you're going by what they told you. That's hearsay. That's not even admissible in court.
Also, when I left the island, I could have named 50 people I really trust behind the helm of a boat that Nolan knew, that he could go talk to. Even if he was left, there was tons and tons of people out there. There was 10 boats that camped out at Horn Island. I know a boat that didn't leave Horn Island until 8 o'clock that night. Nobody would have ever seen, nobody would have ever left somebody on Horn Island. That's a place where everybody loves to go and hang out. That's their peace. Nobody wants to see anybody out there, especially in the boating community. And I can speak on that, like, genuinely. I grew up in it. That's absurd. It's absurd.
So can you help me understand the fight a little better? Because I interviewed Warren, who's your friend, and he had made mention that his brother was involved in the fight. So can you explain who actually started fighting, and were you fighting his brother or were you fighting somebody else? Like, how did that happen?
And I can see now, especially, it's all been blown out of proportion. But so originally, I'll go back a couple steps. Me and my girlfriend, I wouldn't even call it an argument. She was upset that I lost the lid to her koozie. I dropped it in the water. Generally speaking, that's how it started. And I dropped her new koozie in the water. And so she started to let me hear it and basically told me I was paying for it. And she was really upset with me and mad about it. And I needed to kind of sober up a little bit. And so we're walking back. And during that time, this guy that I'm not friends with, I know of him. I don't know him. I didn't even recognize him when I got in an original fight. He butted himself into my conversation and basically was telling me how I needed to handle or address the situation with my girlfriend. And man, we weren't even yelling at each other. We weren't arguing. It was more along the lines of, I literally told her, I was like, man, I just want a beer. And she was like, well, go get one, blah, blah, blah. Well, when I said that, she ducked her head underwater and he had walked up and he told me that I needed to watch how I talked to my girlfriend. And I looked at him and I told him, I was like, this has nothing to do with you. We're good. This has nothing to do with you. And he sat there and he was like, well, I'm gonna tell you, I better not hear it again. And I looked at him and I was like, you need to excuse yourself from the situation. And after I came out, he swung. He threw the first punch. And we went back and forth. I remember at one point in time, I look over and I see my uncle, and my uncle's yelling at me to get in the boat. I stopped fighting. As soon as me and him made eye contact, I got in the boat, I'm sorry. And I listened to my uncle.
And what was Warren's brother's involvement in this?
And so I was getting there. So when I'm on the boat and they're trying to cool me down, I'm trying to get back off the boat. So I see the crowd forming up on the island. Well, my little brother and Carter are like really good friends, like best friends, I would say. He's over at our house all the time. Carter heard him still talking crap as he's getting out of the water, and I'm on the boat, and the situation is like done and over with, right? Well, he sees him talking crap, so Carter gets up and more along the lines of defending me. And for what? He was like, well, if you got a problem with Tristan, we can handle it right here.
So what's the racial breakup of these people that are involved?
Why does that matter? What's the racial breakdown? If somebody got into an altercation, it's just an altercation. Why does it matter if they're black, white, Mexican, Indian? Why does that matter? He keeps throwing race in there.
So the guy that you fought was
white.
White.
I'm the only black guy involved in this whole entire thing.
Yeah.
And at all. Like, I mean, I don't know. Carter is white. The dude I got in a fight with is white.
Mm-hmm.
I was the only black guy involved with this. My girlfriend's white. My uncle's white. There was no other black guy involved. And I know Ben Crump tried to run with a story saying I was Nolan. Well, I was like, nice try, but there was another black guy on the island, so now your whole narrative needs to change again.
Right.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, but that was Carter's involvement, and that was kind of it. Like after the fight, man, I remember getting off the boat. I got off the boat and I walked up to the island. I was telling people, like, hey, like I just need to cool off. Like, let me be. This is after everything is dispersed. There was no crowd anymore when I walked off the boat. And I was like, let me be. Well, again, my uncle yelled at me and I was like, I don't care what you're doing. Get back on the boat. We're leaving. So I got back on the boat and we left shortly after that.
And at least I know you from the interviews that you've done. Some of the other boys haven't spoken out at all.
Yeah.
You've had a chance to use your voice to put the truth out there. You did an interview with, I think, ABC. And you also did an interview with the Rolling Stones.
That was my first interview, with Rolling Stones.
The first interview was Rolling Stones, then ABC?
And then ABC, yes.
Now, from what...
He out here collecting a check, right? This is a check for you, sir. He monetizing from this situation from Nolan. You done went to Rolling Stones and NBC or ABC?
You told me before this interview is that the Rolling Stones gave you a very fair interview. It seemed like the young lady who interviewed you articulated very clearly what you told her with no fluff, no nothing added.
And she cared. She really did care. And she made sure that what she was telling was the complete truth behind everything with me, with my uncle, and then also fact checking on her side as being in media. And it all aligned, man. And when they came out with that, it was really genuine. When I felt that, it brought me to tears because it was like, that's the truth. That's exactly how it needed to be worded. And I appreciated her. I appreciated her a lot. And we took her out to Horn Island this morning to do another little bit. But she's done well, and that's the truth. Her story is nothing but the truth.
Now, ABC, on the other hand, did they treat you fairly, or how did they go?
So I don't want to say they treated me unfairly. The quotes that he used in the article, he did ask me for my permission on it, and I gave it to him.
Disney's Descendants.
He making his rounds, honey, getting his coinage from these interviews. He trying to be famous behind this Nolan situation. Is looking
to an extent.
Looking like
I changed up some stuff, and that he initially didn't change when he came out with it. And then the voice recording, that's really what gets me, because that's what the main people are listening to, right? They're not going in and reading in depth in the article and really seeing everything. They're just going off of what's on TV, because people don't like to read these days.
Wonder why he's doing all these interviews, because you were one of the first ones to leave the island. You weren't even there when all the rest of them left, so you were the first ones, one of the first to leave the island. So really, you doing interviews is irrelevant. You don't really know much of what happened, because what you're told is pretty much hearsay about the guys that were there that was actually witness to what may have happened to Nolan. So I'm not sure why he's even doing interviews. This is Trayston. Okay, I don't even know why Trayston is doing all these interviews like you were there until midnight when whatever happened to Nolan happened to Nolan.
But how they made that and cut a lot of my voice sounded horrible. Sounded bad. I didn't like it. I didn't like that side of it.
It's called editing. You don't have control over editing. They will do the interview. What they want to keep in the interview, they keep. What they want to cut out, they will cut out. And how they choose to edit it, and I'm pretty sure they told you in the beginning, you probably had to sign off in your contract when you did this interview to let you know that editing will be done on this. And especially if you got paid, that's probably how you were able to get your check, is you had to sign off to say, hey, we're going to use your voice. We're going to use this, or this, and you sign off. That's
But
how
it already aired, so what was I going to do? Really?
And at one point, I could have sworn you said that you didn't feel comfortable doing the interview on camera.
Yes.
And did you do that because you didn't want to be visibly promoted on television, or what? How did that?
So the side of that, and I didn't want to be on camera for two main reasons. I never wanted to do an interview and get famous. I never wanted any.
Well, why the fuck is you doing all these interviews if you didn't want to be famous? He said he didn't want to, one, because he didn't want to be famous, but this your third interview.
Attention, per se, famous attention. I don't care about the negative side of it. I'm doing what I think is right. I never wanted any positive attention, let's say. All I wanted to be is for my guys to know that I had their back and I got Nolan's back. And I didn't want the investigation especially on social media side, I guess, and with Ben Crump and their legal team, to go down the wrong path at all. That was my sole purpose, is to tell the truth and to clear up lies. When I talked to ABC, they wanted to do an in-person interview, and I told them no. I told them no because I'm getting death threats. And I don't like them. It is what it is. I'm not putting myself out there any more than I need to. And I'm not getting sit behind a camera and so for somebody to watch me talk about my best friend. And I told him, I was like, if you want to do an article, it's okay. I'll talk and you can do the article on that side of it. I never.
But here you are on interview number 3 on camera. You were on camera for the other 2 interviews. And what's the difference? I'm pretty sure y'all still getting death threats. I'm pretty sure it hasn't died down because no one knows what happened to Nolan. So what changed? When did you become not so scared to do all these interviews and show your face?
Originally wanted to go on TV, period. He convinced me to end up only using my voice, which now I regret, and I wish I would have just sat in front of a camera so you can visibly see the cuts. But they manipulated that interview pretty well. They made it sound a lot worse. And I know for a fact, most of that interview, you can't understand me because I was in tears the entire time talking about it. When he asked me about Nolan's death, and he put it at, if you listen to it carefully, he cuts it and I just say die. Nobody wants to see him die. Don't talk like that, man. That's not what I said. I did say died during at one point in our interview, but I said we.
So you cried and bawled out the entire interview when they talked about Nolan's death. Why you not crying now? Y'all talking about his death. Warren didn't cry not one time. He didn't flinch. His eyes didn't water up. You sitting here with your arms folded like you ready to go. You ain't cried not one time. You ain't showed not one piece of emotion, and you're sitting here talking about your friend who you say was your best friend, who's no longer here. No emotion.
Didn't want to see his life being taken from us. Period. They didn't put that. They twisted some things around and they almost made a different narrative to where it's like now people are coming out and lying. And it's like, man, no.
You're more upset because they edited their video than the death of your friend and what happened to him. I would think that more of your anger and anxiety would be more towards, not knowing what the fuck happened to your friend versus an interview that you didn't really have to do. Nobody asked you to do that. You did it on your own account. Mr. I'm scared because I'm getting death threats. If somebody threatening my life, bitch, I don't want to be seen nowhere in public, let alone on a fucking TV screen with a camera in my face, talking about anything related to why they want to take me out. I'm just saying, I'm going to be somewhere with the blinds closed. I'm going to be home. Y'all feel me? Somewhere sit with my peace just in case some shit pop off. Like I'm going to be home tucked away. I ain't going to be outside like I normally be if I know several people are giving me death threats and my life is in danger. Y'all just outside. You at McDonald's. You just everywhere to be getting all these death threats. That's crazy.
I was wondering if you were gonna. I remember I was like, I could have sworn he said he didn't want to be on camera, and they put your picture all over the news. I mean, how did you feel about that? Was that something that you were okay with them doing it, or?
I kind of accepted it. I accepted
it's in that contract you signed
it because I gave Rolling Stone permission to do it. So I know that's where they probably got that original photo of me and him standing next to each other.
But still, that's kind of weird that you tell them, oh, I don't want to, even if you gave you the permission to Rolling Stones, you go, I don't want to be on camera. And they put your picture up there on camera anyway.
I agree. It's weird.
Yeah.
It's weird. It's odd, but.
out there, y'all. I sped it up for a reason. We about there. Sorry to keep y'all this long, but I wanted y'all to hear this interview.
Generally speaking, man, like I'm worried about my family's safety, but I have no regrets in what I've done and what I've said. Not one. I sleep better at night now that I've spoken up, and I felt.
So you're still getting death threats, but you're sleeping good at night. If someone is threatening my life, I'm not sleeping good because I don't know at what point in time somebody could bust up in my house, spray my house, whatever. Because usually, especially if it's a part of the gang, right? Y'all know how the gang work, honey. They don't stop looking for you. They don't stop coming for you. If people are threatening your life, you're not sleeping good at night. He said he sleep better since he did these interviews. Could it be that check that cashed in the bank? Is that what it is?
Like I've done my part of the good, and I'm willing to help any other time if anything else pops up that I can't help with. And I genuinely just want the truth to be heard about it all. And it kills me and it breaks my heart that my best friends are going through this. Like, this is at home. This isn't something I'm just watching through a screen, listening to you talk about it or listening to somebody else talk about it. I'm living this. I'm getting the calls from my buddies crying, asking me how I'm not scared out of my mind. How am I okay dealing with all this?
So one thing that kind of stood out to me, there was a big contradiction on television, was you said in your interview that you were really, really good friends with Nolan, his best friend. Nolan's mother said on television that as if she don't even know.
Here you go attacking Nolan's mom now. Here he go attacking Nolan's mom now.
You and she don't know who you are, and you're definitely not, at least is what she alluded to, you're definitely not his best friend. So what's the truth in that, and how did that affect you? How did that make you feel?
So she originally touched and she said that we weren't childhood best friends, and she's not wrong. She's not wrong. I moved to Ocean Springs in 9th grade. I met Nolan in 9th grade, as I've stated in my Rolling Stone interview. Nolan was my best friend though. She can believe it or not, that was my best friend. No, me and her never had a sit down in depth conversation like me and you're having now. It was always, hey, how are you doing? I've been to her house multiple times. I've taken Nolan to school multiple times. I've left my vehicle at her house multiple times, even including the new vehicle I just got has gotten left at her house for 2 days. And I just got it. I haven't even had it for 4 months. My vehicle before that stayed at her house for almost a week. Me and her son went on trips together. We went to Florida for spring break together. You don't know me?
That don't mean she know you. That mean you left your car at her house and y'all got the hell up out of there, right? Just because you speak to a person don't mean you know them. This lady says she don't know you. She don't know you. Now, I saw a video after Nolan passed. All of his real friends were at Miss Christine's house, Nolan's mom, right? They were in there. She said they sat around her. They hugged on her. They loved on her. They were all there. They were there for each other while they cried. I didn't see you there. I damn sure didn't see Warren there. I ain't see Wyatt there from the videos and pictures I saw. Y'all supposed to be his best friends, right? Again, I still don't see you crying in this interview, but you are in the defense mode. Just because I can leave my car at anybody's house, that don't mean they know me. That mean they know my damn car in the yard. That's what they know. That's what they know.
I'm in all these homecoming and prom photos as our whole friend group. Me and Nolan are standing next to each other. You don't know me. Nolan's last name is Wells. My last name at one point in time was Walker. We were by each other in the alphabet when we graduated.
That don't make her know you because your last name start with W and his is W. That still don't make her know you.
Man, that's mind-boggling. It's insane. Me and Nolan have multiple classes together. Me and Nolan has always stayed tight. Nolan has always known that he could call me whatever. And like I've mentioned, like I got a new phone number 2 months ago. Nolan was the only friend that had my phone number out of the friend group, and I still call them my best friends. But we communicate on other social medias. But it's like Nolan called me on the day to meet up with me on the 4th out there, but we weren't good friends. We weren't close friends. And when I say best friend, man, I don't want to take away anybody how close they were to Nolan. But when I think of a best friend, I think of Nolan. Somebody I can call, somebody that I've stayed up and I've cried to. That was one of my best friends, generally speaking. She might not think it. That's okay. Me and Nolan knows where we stand with each other. And period. And Nolan knows that.
Yeah, I appreciate you sharing that. With interviewing with me, right? We came out here to Mississippi. We just want to give the boys a voice, give you guys a voice. And out of, I'd say, all the other outlets that you could have spoken to, why do you feel that you wanted to talk to me tonight?
Honestly, I'm a big fan. I know when I look at news articles, big news articles, obviously, and then I know you've talked on them, I make sure I go I watch the full thread of videos. I think our morals align alike. And when we spoke off camera, like it didn't seem like you were out here like another news reporter that just wanted the next big story. Like you just said, it's like you.
That's absolutely why he did it. He wants that big story. He wants to talk to the people who were directly connected to Nolan. Absolutely, that's why he did that shit, for clout. This is a clout interview. and an attack. It's a silent attack on Ben Crump, Nolan's mom, who is still grieving the loss of her son and don't know what the fuck happened to him, but you keep mentioning her name in a negative way as if this lady did something to you. And she says she don't know who the fuck you are. She don't know you. So why the personal attacks? That's weird.
You generally wanted us to have a platform to be able to speak and to be able to tell the truth. And that's what I like. And I know, I don't know, talking to Warren and knowing Miss Katie and being close to them and them trusting you was like, okay, I can sit down, I can have this conversation and we can go through it and we can have the interview on camera and people can see me really, I guess you could say, and talk about it and whatnot.
I appreciate that. I really do. And my last question, with all this stuff going on, and you knew Nolan very well, what do you think how Nolan would feel about how this all has transpired with Benjamin Crump, with, the statements from his mom, with the accusations against you and his other friends? How would you think he would address this or feel about this?
Well, I know people like these it would turn over in his grave. If Nolan could dig himself out of his grave right now, he would. No doubt. Nolan would be livid as an understatement.
Baby, he ain't got to dig out that grave. Because with everybody on this case, like me and everybody, I'm going to keep talking about this shit until we find out what happened. What Al Sharpton say, that blood coming up out the grave, baby, that means that Nolan get ready to tell his own story. Y'all just keep doing interviews, right? Y'all keep doing interviews, especially with this clown sitting right here, Officer Tatum. Raise Batum Tatum. Y'all keep sitting and talking to this damn clown so we can go ahead and keep putting these pieces like a puzzle together, right? That's what y'all need to keep doing. Nolan is going to definitely speak from the grave, all right? And his real friends, that's who really going to come forward and tell the shit, right? And I ain't talking about for no reward money. Because something's going to be laid on somebody's heart here real soon to where they're going to start talking. And y'all ass is going to be implicated in this bullshit as well. And every interview that y'all sat and did, y'all going to have to eat y'all words for all this shit that y'all sat up and said and lied about this boy. Allegedly.
Nolan would never want anything pursued this way at all. I think he would be really upset with his parents about how they went about the situation. I think he generally would. I don't think.
Why would he be mad at his parents for trying to seek answers of what happened to him and not trusting the Mississippi coroner, who have already marked undetermined for several black boys who were found or said that they drowned when they weren't alleged to have drowned? One was beat up by a police officer. We don't talk about that. And she marked it as undetermined. And clearly he had wounds all over him showing he was beat the fuck up by the officer. So how would his death be undetermined? So I applaud Nolan's parents for going over their heads and doing a second autopsy, for getting someone who they know is going to really fight for them. Oh, I applaud him for that. I don't see nothing wrong with that.
He wouldn't support it. I know that for 110%. I know he wouldn't support any of it. I think he would want the truth and he would search for answers, but he wouldn't go about it like this. He wouldn't let us get dogged out like this. If Nolan could have spoke up, he would have already said something about our friend group and saying, y'all are on the wrong path. Generally speaking, he'd be mad. He would be mad. And I don't understand how people don't see that and how people are just okay with even some of his, I guess you could say, other best friends, man, how they were coming out and how they're acting behind it.
I guess you can say, you the only best friend he had, right? None of y'all asses went to the funeral, but y'all were all his best friends. I wouldn't let nobody keep me from no damn funeral. If that's my friend and my friend died, I'm going to come and pay my respects. Fuck all that other stuff being said. I'm going to be there. I'm going to show my face. Like you said, his mom, you ain't have nothing against his mom. You should have went there and you should have walked right up to that front while that lady was sitting there with her face balled up, having an ugly cry. You should have put your arms around her and hugged her and said, I'm sorry for what happened to Nolan. I'm Nolan's friend. I feel your pain. I'm here to support, whatever the case may be. You didn't do that. Y'all sat back. Talking about y'all getting death threats on deactivated accounts. Get the fuck out of here.
But man, Nolan was never like that. Nolan was an aggressive, threatening person. Don't get me wrong, Nolan would defend himself if he needed to defend himself. Nolan was loving and kind. Nolan was the furthest thing from a fight.
Nolan would dig himself out the grave to know that people who he thought were friends had him in an unfortunate situation, laying on that fucking boat where they screaming, oh my God, Nolan, is he unalived? Right? That's some suspect shit to me. Nolan would probably be digging himself out the grave, want to know why that shit popped off.
Furthest thing from a fight. And I remember personally, I was in a heated argument and Nolan comes up cracking a joke and like, bro, it's not even worth it. Come on. And it's like, that just shows his character wouldn't be like this. I know he wouldn't want people chanting.
I guarantee you, Wyatt probably not going to do no interviews. Right? I guarantee you, Wyatt probably not going to do no interviews. Because, baby, y'all heard him on the phone. He sound like he all the way slow. He sound like he might be on the spectrum. And the fact that he might have been drinking and probably on drugs, too, did not help at all. I don't see him sitting down with race bait Tatum. I
know that for a fact. I know nobody would want me or the rest of our friends to get dragged through like this. I know he would want all of us to feel comfortable going to that funeral, and all of us did it because we're scared. And that says a lot. That says a lot. We're scared to go in our own town to who we call our best friend.
But y'all going everywhere else. You don't went to ABC. You don't went to the other place over there to do an interview. You just outside going everywhere you want to go with death threats all on your back. You got a target on your back. You don't give a fuck. You walking around with your arms folded just outside, looking like where's Waldo in this damn interview. You don't give a fuck. You doing what you want to do. So you don't care about no damn, you don't care about no threats, obviously.
We're all over his socials, man. Like, I don't know how you're discrediting and thinking that we could have hurt him. We could have known somebody that hurt him. Because like I told everybody, I would put myself in whatever position he was in 100 times before I let him pass away. And I mean that. I genuinely mean that. The dude.
Well, you better get to swinging on Warren and Wyatt and all them, because he was on the boat with them when they were screaming out, Warren, wake up, Warren. Okay.
He was so loving and so kind. It was just wild. It's crazy. It's wild and it's heartbreaking.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having the courage, man, to come down here and talk to us, give us, your point of view. And I say this, like I said to Warren, man, my whole objective is that, man, I was watching the injustice happen before my eyes. And an injustice meaning that the other side wasn't presented. And people that don't live here came into this town and shook it up, brought racism in it. And basically
this entire interview was racism with you asking questions about, was this person black? This person white? The person you got into a fight with, were they white?
So everybody's statement that I hear about Nolan is that they didn't represent what he stood for.
No.
And they bastardized his character, in my opinion, this is my opinion, to make money and build a GoFundMe instead of trying to actually get to the bottom of what happened to him. And none of this have I seen any of the activists pursue what actually happened. Somebody could have seen something. And instead they're going after dead ends simply because of race, simply because of convenience, instead of pursuing any other lead or any other notion of somebody knowing what happened to Nolan. So I thank you for coming out here, man. It took a lot of courage, putting your face out there, putting your name out there, putting the statements out there. Some people gonna be mad at you, but I'll tell you, like I told Warren and all the other boys, that I got your back, man. You tell the truth. You've been a good.
You gonna take that bullet for him? I doubt it. If he getting all these death threats, I doubt you gonna jump in front of a bullet for his ass. I really doubt that, Mister. I got your back. I want to see you slide over there in them cut off boots and jump in front of a bullet for his ass. I want to see
the man doing it was right. I got your back, man, and I appreciate you, man.
I appreciate it, man.
Thank you.
Yeah, okay. Let's get out of here, y'all. Lord. I knew this interview was gonna have me feeling some type of way. Let's get out of here, though. Y'all write in there, type in there in the comments what y'all feel. I knew this was gonna be some bullshit I didn't get to listen to it all. And the part that I did get to listen to prior, it pissed me off. But yeah, let me go because I'm ready to go cuss and get me a drink now on a good Sunday. I knew I was gonna do it. I knew it. He just sends me. It's something about him. It's like he's so unwoke, and I know that ain't a word. He's just not woke for me. It's just like he's, I don't know, Officer Race Tatum, honey. That's your new name with me. Shout out to 306 watching. Comment and let me know what y'all feel about this video and all of the topics that we've discussed, all the things that we shared with you guys. I'm gonna try to hit y'all back again. I'm gonna be in the midst of packing and some more things because next week I'll be on vacation, but I will take my laptop and still connect with you guys because y'all know this whole case with Nolan. I'm not about to drop the bag on that. All right. I'm still going to tap in as I always do when I'm on vacation. So I'll be getting up probably like early morning and doing videos with you guys. So I need to talk to Remy. Not Remy. Y'all crazy. But yeah, let me know what y'all feel. All right. Yeah, them deacon boots, y'all. In there slip sliding them damn deacon boots. He ain't going to slide across no damn he ain't gonna slide out there and take no bullet for none of these hoes out here talking about, yeah, I got your back. Nigga, you ain't got nobody back. Sit your ass down out here clout chasing. But thank y'all for being out here and joining me, guys, for this long live. What are we, 2 hours? Jesus. I ain't mean to be on here this long, but nevertheless, thank y'all for being here. Hope you enjoyed the show. All right, we'll be back. I'll try to tap back in, probably for like a pop in. All right, for more news I know you guys can use because it's a lot of stuff that I'm pretty sure is going to be popping off today. All right, but y'all have a great day until the next video. Like the video, hype up this video, subscribe to the channel, tell a friend, come on over to the KMRL show. All right, love you guys down to the next one. Bye.